What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy. You guys are watching Inside the Coils, but most of you already know that. Greatly appreciate everybody showing up tonight. Good to see you. I'm exhausted, folks. I'm not gonna lie. That was a carpet python falling. Yeah, we'll dive into those suckers too. That big female there that actually just did the little flop there. She's on my crap list, to say the least, for today. But as I was saying, I'm exhausted. I had a show this weekend. It was amazing as always. We'll dive into that. We're going to dive into just talk about shows as well. We are going to have a special guest, with us tonight as well. They are currently, though, out to eat with their wife. So I told them to take their time, family first. You guys all know that family is the most important thing. Luckily, my wife loves it when I get out of her hair. So we're going to have a great show tonight. Like I said, we're going to dive into talking about some shows, stuff like that, things I've noticed, things that are slightly alarming to me, and just kind of give you a recap of the Gettysburg Reptile Expo LLC. And on top of it, we're also going to, I just lost my train of thought. I'm not going to lie, folks. I did bring back some nice pickups, though, or bring backs, however you want to look at it. You guys know what some of them were because of the auction, but there is one that is actually two of them are a total surprise to you all. So I will be anxious to show those to you in future videos. Excuse me. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Got to see a lot of people this weekend, too. Speaking of which, one of them was this guy here, Ken from LMK, which was first. But Ken, it was good to see you, dude. Now, this guy here, we all know Sammy. Sammy made the long drive up from Florida. And he stopped by to see me. He's stopped by to see a lot of us that he talks to in the chats, like Nicole from Lady Tiz Exotics. Danny, Nathan, all those guys, Phil, Kent, he stopped up to see all of us, showed us so much love, guys. It was great seeing you, Sammy, dude. Thank you so much for coming up, seeing me, spending so much time talking with me, man. The one bad thing, and it seemed like whenever there was someone that made a drive, came to talk to me, that's when the table got busy. It's almost like they were my good luck charm, but it was a tough show, folks. I'm not gonna lie, it was a tough show for me, but there was a lot of people that had some great success. But Sammy, thank you very much, dude, for coming up, and it was a blast getting to hang out with you for a little bit, dude. I really appreciate it, and it's great seeing you, dude. And Tara from Voodoo Doll Royals, let me tell you what, guys, Tara and her husband not only came out to see me, they came out for the show too. Don't get me wrong, I'm not that damn special, but what did make me special is that Tara brought me a whole 12-pack of Yoo-Hoo. Now, I think there's a catch to Yoo-Hoo, though, because Yoo-Hoo in a can apparently does not hold the same magical aspects as Yoo-Hoo in a box. I had several cans of Yoo-Hoo, and it wasn't until after I had a boxed Yoo-Hoo that I made a sale. But Tara, thank you very much for the Yoo-Hoo. It absolutely tickled me pink. Yeah, you guys have no idea how awesome that was. I do appreciate it, and it was great seeing you. And I am going to get on ordering that mat. I'm going to try to do that tomorrow, maybe. Today's just been a blur, getting caught up on everything. I started going through doing a full-out bedding changes on everything because I brought back a whole buttload of Cocoa to go from my buddy Chris at S Reptilia. So just going through, doing all the cage, changes, swaps, all that good stuff, which is part of the reason why I'm mad at this girl right here. This girl right here is on the list, guys. Let's see here. Stan, Sea of Serpents. What's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Thank you very much for showing some love. Rob, it was great seeing you yesterday, bro. I hope you enjoyed the show. Jim, Straight Blast Pythons, dude. I wish you were close enough to come out to the shows, dude. It was always great seeing you when you would come out and say hi and hang out for a little bit. Well, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Benevolent Reptiles, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Tim, I didn't see it at this show, dude. I was waiting to see it, and I didn't see it, bro. But I hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the chat, though, tonight. Thank you very much. Charlie, you, my man, are going to be getting some sheds here soon, dude. I've got, let me see here. There's 1, 2, 3. There's at least, well, hold on here. There might be more than that. 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 sheds. I've got to send you. So you will be getting some sheds from me, bro. Everybody, if you do not know, and if you've been living under a rock, check out Charlie here from Gray Rider Reptiles, shedtesting.com. Hit him up for your shed testing needs. I use him. A lot of us use him. Super fast response time. He gets his results out to you. Danny from DTMG, we've been next to each other at Gettysburg. And one of the first things he said to me, I believe Saturday morning, was he goes, dude, Charlie just got these sheds Wednesday, and I've got my results already for some of them. I was like, dude, it's like, that's the awesome part about Charlie. He's quick, and you get great results. And it's not like he doesn't just tell you what you want to hear. He actually does test them, but he does awesome turnaround time, folks. So go give Charlie some of your business. Give him a shot. He's got a lot of the morphs that are out there. Charlie, if you want to, you can go through, type them in there in the chat. But he's got basically everything that you're going to want. I got a feeling. Clown, cryptic, all that stuff. Pied, hypo. You guys, all that good stuff. So definitely check out Charlie. Mark, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Tammy, good to see you. Kent, what's up, dude? It's great. I didn't even get to hang out with you much yesterday, but glad you made it out to the show. Hope you had a decent show at least, or if you didn't sell anything or had a hard time moving stuff, hopefully you had just a good time. Let's see here. James, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see here. Let's see. Michael, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. I will be seeing you, Michael. Hopefully you're set up at Baltimore Repticon again, because that will probably be the next time I see you, because I will be there. Scott, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. It's always good hanging out with you for a little bit, like always at the show yesterday. Pope County, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see here. Upstate New York, Morse, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. All right, that kind of catches us up, guys. So let's go through, run the sponsor, the sponsor little commercials here real quick, because we've got to thank our sponsors, because they are an important part to the show and to the channel. Like, they help keep the wheels turning here, folks. I'm not gonna lie. So let's go through, thank the sponsors real quick. We'll dive into this live.
Are you ready for a force to be reckoned with? Check out Triforce Morse. They've been in the game for 10 years. They're working in the Citron Clown Pied project, along with Ghost Clowns, Ghost Pieds, the Matter project, and Lace. That's right, folks, Lace. Everybody loves Lace. And to top it off, they're also working with Crested Geckos as well. So make sure you check out Triforce Morse. They are a force to be reckoned with. Make sure you check out Nathan at Infinite Possible Pythons. He is your guy to go to if you want to get into the Bang project. On top of it, he's working a bunch of awesome ball python projects. Kahua geckos, Leachianus geckos, crested geckos, some scaleless corn snakes, and he is your one-stop shop for all your branding needs. So check him out. Are you ready to take it to the next level? Then check out DTMG Pythons. Danny is best known for his awesome clown ball python projects. This year his focus is Confusion, Hurricane, and Disco Inferno clowns. He also specializes in high-end crested gecko morphs such as Exantic, Lily White, and Exantic Lily Whites, along with the Deadpool line of gargoyle geckos. Check out his morph market and Instagram, DTMG Pythons. Just buy it. Lucas Landon Royals produces some truly high-caliber snakes. Kai has been breeding ball pythons for 6 seasons and counting. He's working toward multi-recessive combos such as DG Clown, Hypo Clown Pied, Sunset Candy Pied, and DG Exantic Pied. He's working with several other species of snakes, but next year he's going to start breeding Boa Imperators And he also has a small group of super dwarf retics. So be on the lookout for some super dwarf cow retics. Become a royal at Lucas Landed Royals. Make sure you check out Chris at S Reptilia. If you're looking for a ball python, boa, colubrid, blood python, he is the guy to go to. He's also a rat breeder on the eastern side of PA, and he is Pennsylvania's distributor of Cocoa to Go and the Chipper, which is by far the best cocoa substrate on the market today. So make sure you go ahead and check him out.
All right, everybody. That is all of our sponsors for tonight's episode. Thank you very much, everybody, for sponsoring and for all the support. Those ads are going to be changing a little bit, folks. Here through the grapevine, Triforce wants a slideshow. So, once John, since you're here, dude, you got to send me some pics, bro. Got to send me them pics so I can make you a slideshow. And Nathan there from Infinite Possible Pythons, I hear that he's going to be doing a really fancy commercial thing and sending it to me. So I don't even have to do the work for the ad, which is awesome because it'll make it look like I know what I'm doing somewhat. So thanks, Nathan. Greg, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Greg is one of our members of the channel. So thank you, Greg, for all of your support, dude. Hope that baby carpet is doing amazing. M&B Reptiles, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. I already said it once, but John, Christine, what's up? I had a blast going out to eat with you guys. John, I always love talking to you and Nathan. Just basically sitting down one-on-one and just all of us kind of collaborating a little bit. Definitely got my gears turning a little bit. I shouldn't say a little bit. It got them turning even more than what they already do, which is a dangerous thing, bro. But I do want to thank you for that. I'm going to be trying to determine if I've got some things I need to reevaluate and move, just kind of let it move on now that I'm at a little bit better position, so to speak, with just everything going on here. Let's see. Upstate New York says Kai. Hell yeah, dude. It was a blast talking with Kai. I always have fun time with Kai. He's a great dude. Amazing snakes, guys. Some of the most beautiful pieds I think that you'll come across. The Lucas Landon Royals has them, guys. Who says anyone buy anything from the holdback rack auction last night? So I watched a little bit of it. I did, in all honesty, I was that freaking exhausted. Like, yeah, I couldn't even sit around really to watch it. I got home from the show, unpacked the animals, and I was on daddy daycare duty right after that. So I was just yesterday was a blur during the show. Last night was even more of a blur. But I hope for the little bit I saw, there were some deals to be had there. That is for sure. Sammy, I said hi to you earlier, bro. But dude, thank you so much again. And maybe you weren't here. Thanks again for hopping your way up here, saying hi and hanging out. It's always good to see you, bro. Sean, Pine, and Joy, they were set up at the show. Sounds like they had a pretty decent show too. So it was good to hang out with you, Sean and Debbie. Always a blast to be with you. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm really freaking dropping behind. Look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. Nathan of Infinite Possible Pythons, guys. Nathan, it's funny that you and I were on the same brainwave yesterday when you called me, because I was just a little bit. You basically beat me to the punch by a couple of minutes. Because I was going to call you and be like, hey, I think we forgot something. But it was a blast hanging out with you, bro. As always, everybody, these hats. What do you think of the new hats? Flex Fit branded hats. Got it in this. I think this is Cryptic Raid. I've got the Cryptic Typon, which is the darker. It's more black with a little bit of gray than basically all gray. I like this because it goes with my whole theme of Exantic stuff. Nathan there's a white Cryptic camo that really goes with the Exantic stuff, but I know how I am, and it'll get dirty and it'll drive me nuts and I won't be happy. So that's what I went with, this cryptic raid and the cryptic Typon. Hopefully I say that right, but definitely, guys, the hats were a big seller at the show. I'm not gonna lie. I told Danny and a few other people, I think I'm gonna give up doing snakes and I'm gonna sell hats and shirts. But it was, man, everybody loved the hats. They really, really did. Kevin, what's up, dude? It was good seeing you yesterday. Hopefully you had a good show as well. Thanks. Yes, John. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it, dude. Like, there's like, I'm probably even gonna maybe call you this week early, like midweek, and just bounce an idea or two off of you and see if I'm just really stupid and crazy or if I'm kind of getting my head straight a little bit. Mako Morse, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Man, you guys are going like crazy in this chat. I love it. I love it. Jim's is too broke to buy any. Dude, welcome to my life. Welcome to my life and being friends with all these other guys that have killer stuff. It's not easy, dude. It's not easy to say no. Carissa, Bohemian Exotics, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Phil, this is a guy that I did not get much of a time or much of a chance to sit down and talk to like I normally do till I was all done setting up. Granted, I set up Friday. But even Saturday is just Saturday, like I said, was a blur, folks. And I didn't get much of a chance to talk to Phil. I was too busy running around, just being an idiot, basically. But Phil, I hope you did good at the show. Phil was showing me some killer lace stuff, guys. So if you're in the market for some lace, and John and Christine don't have it, make sure you guys check out Phil there at Finger Snakes. Sammy says he's looking for a female clown pied. Anybody's got it, make sure you guys maybe send Sammy a message or drop it here in the chat. Kai, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in, bro. It was a blast hanging out with you yesterday. Let's see here. Let's see. Maybe I can catch up with this chat once because it looks like you guys are all saying hi to everybody. Garden State Pythons. Pete, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Greatly appreciate seeing you in the chat. So, all right, hold on, wait. Will says he's broke as shit and his wife was mad as hell. What I told her. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Man. All right. So, the show this weekend, I upped my game a little bit, folks. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys didn't by chance see what my display looked like for this show, go to my Instagram, check it out. I posted a picture of it. I think I posted a picture Friday, posted a reel Saturday. First time I posted something on Instagram in quite some time. But go check that out because I almost looked like I knew what I was doing. Almost. The only thing is that I was having a little bit of a harder time moving some snakes. But we'll dive into that too. I want to hold off a little bit, or try to hold off anyway, some of this conversation though, because I want to have it for our special guest, which I may as well just tell you guys. Adam from Proper Royals will be joining us here at some point. Like I said, he's out to eat with his wife. And I told him, dude, it's like, take your time. And I can normally kill a half hour. Like he said, he'd be on by 8:30. He's like, dude, I was like, the sponsor ads take almost a half hour, or at least that's what everybody makes it seem like. Kike, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in, bro. Hopefully your baby carpet's doing well too. It's probably not looking too much like a baby anymore if it's growing like my two holdbacks, or like the one that I still have up for grabs, folks. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how I still have this thing. It just shed this week. It looks fantastic, and it didn't leave at the show. I really thought it was gonna go home with. There's like 2 or 3 people really, really, really looking into it, and I was surprised it came home with me. I was at a loss for words. I would if I was a betting man, I would have bet that would have been the one that came, or that would have went home with somebody else. I did not see that thing coming home with me, but hey, who knows? I've got another show this weekend, this Saturday up in Bloomsburg. It's a first time show for that. So we'll see how that goes too. And next weekend we also have on Sunday we've got the live auction with Chris from S Reptilia. So Chris is going to be vending up there as well. So we'll do some back and forth talking about the last, Gettysburg and Bloomsburg. I know the one thing that it's annoying as a breeder / vendor is that these shows being on the same weekends as other shows. Like it really sucks. I'm not going to lie. Like this weekend, Saturday was Gettysburg and it was Oaks. I've got to go to Gettysburg because I love the Gettysburg show. The atmosphere of it, just going out to eat with everybody. That's what makes that show. I don't care. All right, I don't want to say I don't care. I do care how I do at the show. But when it all comes down to it, I really don't care how I do at that show because the good time I have going out to eat Friday night after setup, that is by far the big attraction for that show for me is just the community, going out to eat with everybody, sitting around bullshitting and just having a good time. Even after we're done setting up, because I think we go out to eat like it's like 7:00. So we normally get there roughly say 2:00, set up, and the rest of the time just hanging out, going around bugging each other. It's just a good time. It's laid back, and you can do a little bit of shopping, this and that, if you want, but it's just a good time. It's what makes that show for me. So even if it came down to it, no matter what, I'd be at Gettysburg. Oaks, I will say this, I've vended Oaks once, and that was to this date my best show as far as moving animals and sales. But that being said, do not think that at Gettysburg you can't do that because everybody else in the group, and especially like Danny, I know Nathan had a great show as well. All those guys were doing really, really, really good at moving stuff. It just was the aspect that, I hate to say this, but I had bird food, guys. I have a lot of bird food. And I say that jokingly. The stuff I have up for grabs, it's very pet. I don't want. It's very focused towards the pet people at the moment. There was some, there's some het stuff. There's a normal double het Exantic DG male I have there. A bunch of het DG stuff. A cinnamon het DG. You guys go watch the video. Most of that stuff is still available, except, this is what's going to knock your socks off here, folks. The stuff that I did sell. All right, I moved 2 snakes, one at the show and one today, which was to someone from the show. But both of them were killer bees that were both 66% double het Exantic clown. So I have not even my banana stuff didn't move. My carpet python didn't move. The spider stuff moved. So for all the people that hate on spider, it still moves, guys. Especially some of those prices I was seeing on just snakes in general. I feel really good about where I landed at with selling these killer bees price wise. Let me see here. You guys are going crazy in the chat. It's good to see. I gotta see where I'm at though. That way, Kike says Lumi is doing awesome and loving him. Awesome, dude. I know. Let's see. Jim, the jungle. If you're referring to the jungle I have, it is a male and he is stunning. He just had his shed like a couple days before the show, and my jaw dropped to the point where I was like, do I really want to get rid of him? But I got to keep the male that I originally decided on keeping, and I don't need to hold back another one. But yes, it is a male, beautiful jungle carpet. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that, dude. I will be vending there at Baltimore, dude. So I don't know where I'm going to be placed, but I will be there. So we'll have to sit there. We'll have to do some bullshitting then while we're there. Sean says their carpets girls getting big. Nice, dude. It's nice to hear everybody like. It's nice to see all these carpets that were. This is my first carpet clutch, so it's super special to me, and it's great to see that it went out to so many people that I can keep in contact with. Oh, Phil's going to be at Bloomsburg too. Nice, dude. Oh, man, this is going to be a riot. Bloomsburg's in trouble. We're all getting a rowdy group. I think we're all in kind of like one giant block too. So we're all, it's going to be crazy, guys. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Come out and come out to Bloomsburg. I think it's like 2 hours north of me. It's basically directly north of me. So come out, say hi, hang out, buy some stuff. Dude, yeah, thank you very much, bro. I appreciate it, man. Let's see here. It does, Jim. You are exactly right. Spider stuff does move at shows, and you know it's pretty. I was surprised at that. I thought also I've got it was a spider double head exanthic, or 66% double head exanthic clown with paradoxing. I thought somebody would have snagged that just because I always thought paradox animals like caught people's eyes and they're like, ooh, unique, special, one of a kind. No, nobody. They all passed that one over. So I was kind of surprised. You're right, John. The show was very weird for what was selling, and some of that stuff. Oh my god! Well, I hope I can hold out here long enough for Adam to get here. But some of the prices, guys, like it. That's what had me so screwed up. All right, Adam's on his way. He said he'll be here in a sec. So give me 1 second here. The prices that I saw things on tables was making my head spin and hurt, which I think led to a lot of fatigue because Nicole there from Lady Tiz Exotic said that she was watching me throughout the day and she could tell how my mood was just different times throughout the day from reading my facial expressions and how I was. And I think a lot of that, like I was exhausted, like I said. But I think a lot of that exhaustion led to trying, like people were oohing and on, they were looking at stuff. And it just, it came down to, it's like, where do you price this stuff? I don't do that shows that often. I normally do Gettysburg. That's a regular, that's once every 4 months. So 3 times a year. And, it's, like I said, once every 4 months that I'm normally at. Now that I'm having our breeding season's basically all year long now. Now I've got more room for more inventory, all year. So I will be expanding that out to other shows, but I'm going to be picky about where I'm going just because of, table costs, all that stuff. And just due to the fact of how, the price ranges of stuff that I'm selling. Say if a table's $100 and I've got a couple $50 animals in this current market, I've got to move 2 of those animals to cover table costs. So I've got some things to think about in that aspect. I just bumped my computer there. But it definitely, it had my head spinning. John says that they moved their OD Fire Spider DG male very cheap, but it's sold. Spiders still are moving. See, I mean, it's spider moves, it sells. I spent a little bit of time talking to somebody about the whole wobble issue and stuff, and told them I never really experienced much of it with my stuff. Now the one that they were holding at that current time, right as soon as I said I had none of my stuff really has experienced that, it started going into a wobble and then it corrected itself. So take it how you want it. It wobbled, but it didn't. But you also have to think shows are stressful, folks. So if something's going to wobble, it's going to wobble out of show. Because that was the first time I've ever seen that animal do anything goofy at all. But hey, it's one of those things where I told him to say, hey, certain things are going to bring it out. Stress is the big one. So yeah, but good job on moving that thing, John. Plus, John's got a killer animal that's on my hit list. We definitely got to talk about that one, dude, on Saturday. Phil says he was very appreciative to sell 4 ball pythons and a spotted python. Very nice, Phil. Congrats, dude. Those little spotted pythons, those things are so tiny, but they're awesome. Jason, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see here. I'm so far behind. Let's see here. All right, Sammy, take it easy, dude. 6-hour drive. My goodness, man. Thank you. Like I said, thanks again, dude, and drive safe. Oh, yeah. It's so everybody. I will be set up next to Triforce Morphs, apparently. So it's gonna be a lot of green. A lot of green. What better place to put me than next to more green and someone that's got so many snakes that I want? That's not even funny. God, I'm gonna owe John a kidney or something. Let's see here. Phil says he sold a super etchy Hinging Woma at the show. Kind of looks like a stinger bee. Awesome, dude. Scott says he should be at the Bloomsburg party. Bloomsburg isn't going to be the same after this weekend. No, it won't, dude. It will not. Holly, what's up? Thanks for tuning in, girl. Once Adam gets here, we'll get to see some of that fancy work you have done in the background, and you guys will get to see the awesome work Holly's done for me. Greatly appreciate it, Holly. Everybody go check out Texoma Exotics. She's definitely helped make this show look a lot more professional, so I greatly appreciate it, Holly. Let's see here. Let's see. What up, Bobby? Good to see you. Man, I am so far behind. Let's see. Jeremy, number 2. What's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Good seeing you. Let's see. Nate says, don't worry, put you to the janitor's closet for the show. Oh, man. Nathan, you might be onto something, dude. I might need a photo booth, and the janitor's closet might be the best place for that, man. It was a really neat experience, folks. I do have to bring it up because it was probably one of the highlights of the show for me. I had someone come up to me and they had told, really awesome. They told me that they drove 4 hours just to come see me at that show. They were from upper end of New York. Actually, also got to see Paul from Large Marge Morphs and Jay from Greenline Morphs. Paul's got a long drive. He drove to Jay, and then Jay drove them both down. But I got to see them as well. So Paul made a long ass drive as well. But there's another guy that made a long drive, and just to solely see me, it really made me feel like $1 million. I'm not gonna lie. It made me feel like I don't want to make it sound like you guys don't make me feel like I'm special or some, whatever. I don't know why you all want to sit here anyway and listen to me bullshit and ramble, but I appreciate it. But this guy drove 4 hours to come out and see me at this show just because he wanted to be able to meet me in person and just talk with me for a little bit. It warmed my heart, made me feel like $1 million. I greatly appreciated it. It literally, man, it was an awesome feeling. I'm not gonna lie. It's very humbling, and it was just kind of no. I'm not celebrity status, bro. I will joke about that, but by no means do I at all consider look at myself as celebrity status. I will joke around about that though, but yeah. So, Kai, you are definitely a lot more of a celebrity than me because you produce a lot better stuff than me and everybody else. So make sure you guys go check out Kai's YouTube channel. He drops a video with some beautiful, beautiful animals today. Definitely go ahead and check him out. Nathan, don't worry. Nathan, you know exactly how special I am. But Nathan probably gets to see a side of me a lot of people don't, just because I call him a lot and like ask him a bunch of really stupid shit. It's probably part of the reason why I come across knowing half of what I do know is because I've bugged Nathan, especially about like the marketing aspect and all that stuff. It's just a matter of implementing the knowledge that man has given to me. That is true, Holly. That is very true. That is very true. No one traveled as far as you did. That is 110% true. That is very, very true. That was even more humbling and even cooler. I will say that. Anybody that travels any amount of distance just to come see me, like, It's really awesome. It really is. It's amazing to think people want to drive that far for a barbecue too. Some might even question how crazy some people are in this hobby for driving that far for barbecues. But it's an awesome thing. I greatly appreciate it. And the new year's coming, folks. I've got to make some decisions on that barbecue as well as to what the hell I'm going to be doing. Kai says no one recognized me. I thought I bumped into a fan, but then he called me. Excuse me, everybody. That was just funny. I'm getting over whatever the hell I had earlier in the week. But all right, now here is a celebrity, folks. Here is a celebrity. Let's bring him out. He's finally here. He's probably full as could be. Who knows how much he's been drinking? So we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to analyze him a little bit. But hopefully he had a good time with his wife. So let's bring him out.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Doing good, dude. How about yourself?
I'm good. We're flying in. No sound check, no pre-show, no show prep, no nothing, man. I'm doing good.
Dude, see, that is how you know that we at least think we know what we're doing.
We've lied to ourselves very, very well, right?
Exactly. Now, everybody, as you can see, the background looks a lot more professional. That is the work of Holly there from Texoma Exotics. You guys, make sure you guys check out the sponsors all across the top there and show them some love. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you again, Holly, for that awesome background. There's a few others, but I really, really like this green lightning stuff. I think it looks awesome.
I dig it, man. So is Inside the Coils the name of your show now?
Yes. I branded it Inside the Coils. God, I'm trying to think of when I technically took it to that. I felt left out. Everybody had a name for their show, basically. And it's just kind of like, I gotta have, I need something cool.
Yeah, I like it. And yeah, don't take it as anything, but I like it. I was trying to remember because I saw it I didn't know if it was like a segment within the show. Like you had like this is an Inside the Coils episode versus a regular, or a different, I wasn't sure because it wasn't there. And then I saw it one time, but anyway, I dig it, man. Yeah. And the background is cool. I like it. The colors go well with it. Did you say that's Holly's work?
That is Holly's work, dude. Because before it was just, hold on, let me see. I don't think she erased it for me. See, originally we had this, which I thought it was cool. It was about the extent of my abilities. I'm not very tech savvy. And then Holly came up with these awesome ones here. See, we got this Matrix themed look thing. I really like that. We got this one where kind of dark, gloomy, back alley thing. Like that. Oh, yeah. But gotta stick with the green stuff.
Yeah, no, this is cool. You've chosen the right one. In my opinion, I agree with it. And that's Holly at Texoma Exotics. That Holly?
Yep, Holly at Texoma Exotics, dude.
That will do branding for you and help you with your show and do backgrounds. Holly at Texoma Exotics, that's the one?
Yep, that would be it. That would be Holly at Texoma Exotics.
Good.
There you go, yes. Holly. You got a huge shout out, sis. Huge shout out. Let's see. We got Sundog Serpents. Joshua, what's up?
Cool.
So, dude, all right. I was kind of, all right. You know how we were talking on how it take a half hour to run the sponsor ads and stuff. And yeah. I was really starting to find myself doggy paddling here. It's like, wow, normally I can do this. But the things I wanted to dive into, I needed you here for. So I was really kind of starting to grasp at straws.
I'm sorry, man.
Time to come in.
Well, I was 6 minutes late. And so we were at, so we live in this new neighborhood, new to us, not new. This is a long, anyway, we are new in the neighborhood and some neighbors invited us over for dinner, which is totally sweet and incredibly exactly what we moved to a small town for. We want that kind of community. We want that kind of feel. So we went and had dinner and it was kind of one of those hey, we'll get there at 5. Of course, we'll be done by 7:30 because we didn't even really know these people. And then, no, it ended up being really great. And I felt bad because I'm I was kind of hurrying and they cooked. Here's how you really know they care. They cook dessert too. Like they didn't just do like wine and dinner. They're like, oh, and now let me whip some fresh whipped cream for us for our custard. And I was like, oh, shit, I gotta go. So like I downed the custard and it was really great. Fresh blueberries, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, everybody, I'm really sorry, but it's 3 houses down the road. So I was like, babe, I'll see you at home. Charlie, my son. I'm like, Charlie, be good. I'll see you guys at home. And they're like, is this a snake thing? I was like, yeah, yep, it's a snake thing. I gotta go. And that's when I messaged you. I was like, I'll be there in a sec. I was like, it's 7:24. I'm gonna be late.
You're good, dude.
So yeah, I just boogie down the street and here I am.
So the neighbors know you do snakes now then.
Yeah, you know what? Like not all of them. Well, maybe I don't know. It's a small town. They probably all know. Like they probably were all given a heads up by the realtor before I moved here. I don't know. Yeah, they know. So my son's 11. Like he doesn't understand the nuances of keeping things like
hush hush.
Like you don't have to lie about it, but you don't have to bring it up. Like he doesn't get that. So yeah. So we get to the neighbors and the neighbors are like, you have 300 snakes in your basement. And I'm like, no, it's like 160. It's not that many. And they're like, okay, 160 is still a hell of a lot of snakes. I'm like, not really. And they're like, yeah, it is. I'm like, okay, it is, but not to like snake people. It's not. So he had told him it was 300. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm always curious as to how other like non-snake people and neighbors view finding out that you're that guy that's got all those weird, creepy pets, to them, because I don't think any of my neighbors have any freaking idea. Or if they do, I don't know how. Like, I guess they've probably never seen me outside when I do have one of the snakes outside or anything. But I've always been curious as to what would they really think.
In Florida, I never told another person, not once, not my next door neighbor, not it. Like on the day I was moving out, I hired the 19-year-old kid 2 doors down. I was like, dude, I need some help moving. Here's $100. I don't know what I paid, whatever it was. And he's like, what are these rat things? And I'm like, yeah, they're full of snakes. Let's go. We got to get them in. And he's like, all this time? And I was like, yeah, I've been running a whole snake operation in here, the whole thing. But no, I never told anybody in Florida. But the town that we moved to here in Minnesota, so that it's a totally different feel, but it's also, there's 2 pretty big colleges in this town. One's called St. Olaf, and one's called Carleton. And each of them have about 10 to 11,000 students. But most of the town are like college academians, and they're really curious and really pretty accepting of stuff. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's kind of a really left-leaning, curious, oh, that's neat, BU kind of town. And so I've sort of embraced it, and I'm never going to be like, hey, Charlie, you have to lie about what goes on at home. Like, I'm proud of it. I don't want people intruding on it, but I don't care that they know. And it's pretty cool that yeah, they were really intrigued. And then it was really weird because the neighbors are about our age, but they live with their mother. And I didn't know this. Or like the husband's mom is a widow and she lives with them. And, she comes to dinner out of the blue. And I was like, whoa, there's another person here. Okay. And like the snake conversations carried on. And I'm like, oh, this isn't going to go well with the older generation. And she was totally cool. She was like, that's really neat that's what you can do. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right, I'm in. We'll talk about it.
Dude, I'm still stuck on this whole, like the way you described it with the neighbor kid from Florida. Like it almost like, Kike has it right here. Adam, the snake cartel. It sounds like you were wheeling and dealing drugs out of the basement. Only it's snakes.
Well, I mean, that's no. I know. It's, of course, it was legal and legitimate, and I was licensed in Florida. But so the day I moved in, this kid, he's the first one. Like very polite, very. I don't know, just really, really intelligent, proper, polite kid. I'm so-and-so. I'm from the neighborhood. And then I found out like he's in everybody's business. Like he knows who lived here. He knows who's moving out. He knows whose home's for sale. He knows what kid is grounded. There was one night I was like, call, you know, it's like the street lights are coming on. I'm like, Charlie, come home. And he's like, oh, he's over at so-and-so's house. And I'm like, where do you know where my 9-year-old is? That's weird, you know? So it almost was like a badge of courage that on the day that we moved out and lived there for 3 years, he was like, what? This is what's been going on here? And I was like, yep, that's right, kid. You thought you knew everything in this neighborhood, but you didn't know everything.
Dude, that's just funny though. That is funny. That's good. Sorry. As Adam said, we really didn't do any show prep, but he does kind of know what I wanted to dive into. I wanted to talk about some
a little bit
stuff.
Yeah.
So, what have you been seeing at your shows lately? How have you been doing? Because I want to kind of compare, contrast, and then also see. Because I saw some crazy ass prices this weekend, dude. Like prices that made my low.
Okay, all right.
Like for like the big one that I saw that made my jaw drop, which I'm glad I know who bought it because I might be hitting them up. Hint, hint, wink, wink, since you're in the audience. But it was a pastel DG female. Now, what do you think of visual pastel DG female? Absolutely stunning example, mind you. What do you think that should be priced at on a table?
So let me first say I don't know because I don't work with DG, so I don't keep an eye on DG prices. I really don't know. But I would have to think it's got to be between $400 and $500. I mean, I know a year and a half ago that was $1,200-$1,500 animals. So I mean, it's I know it's looked after. What did it go for though? They're just giving it away, right?
$350.
Yeah. Okay.
Really, all right. I'm kind of impressed you were like that close into the ballpark because when I saw that thing, I'm there thinking it's like, God, that animal alone should probably be up around like 8, like at least at 8, in my opinion.
Right.
Granted, because I was there hustling pastel leopard het DG stuff and pewter leopard het DG stuff for like all but 200 at one point, and then I started dropping it, especially after I saw that, because it's like, well, I'm obviously completely disconnected from reality here at the moment.
Triforce's next comment was it was a throw-in. So like at Tinley, I heard of a lightning pied, a xanthic pied, that went for like $400, and I was like, what is going on? But then it was somebody that had already spent like $5,000 to $8,000 with that person, and they bought more. And so then you get a little bit of context. So was it a big deal that it got tagged on the top? Was there a history of relationships there? Was it, I don't know. Was the person selling it a horrible addict that needed a fix? I don't know. I can't. The prices are crazy. But to your initial question, what am I seeing? By and large, I'm seeing activity. I'm seeing activity at lower prices, but I'm seeing activity. I did a show not too long ago. I've been averaging about $1,300 a show, but then again, I've had two $0. Yeah, it's great. You know, for a one-day show, no problem. If I don't have to buy a hotel and I can start my day at home and end my day at home, I'll do those shows endlessly. But I have had 2 shows, ironically, the ones that took a hotel and that were the longest drives were $0. So it's a little bit back and forth. I'm seeing that it's taking more creativity. It's taking more ways to differentiate yourself, and more advertising effort. And I was going to say, I don't sell squat on Morph Market anymore, but I sold a snake on, I don't know if there's any correlation if it was payday Friday or what. Out of the blue, I sold 3 snakes on Friday that were,
nice.
One was out of the blue. One was a local post that I posted on like 2 reptile groups and Proper Royals on Facebook. And one was one I kind of worked my butt off. I made a reel on. I really pitched to Patreon. I really pitched to a few people that I thought it would be up their alley on buyers. And I finally got a bite on one of them. So it was 3 different ways that I sold a snake. But I did sell one on Morph Market on Friday, which was nice to see because I haven't seen any action on Morph Market in a long time.
Let's see, Morph Market's been dead, but then I get inquiries, and like today I got an inquiry over it was a Killer Bee 66% double head Xanthic clown. Someone from Colorado messaged me about it and asked for a shipping quote. Sent them, a quote, and it was gonna be like $65 to ship it there. So not bad. And convo went dead. I'm there thinking, it's like, you know what? It's like the price I had on Morph Market was this. I had it at the show. It's like, I'll just tell them, hey, if you would like, make me an offer. I've got a little bit of wiggle room. I'm
sure.
Thinking. So they came in they made an offer, and it was like $40 less than what it normally would have been. Not a bad hit, but I'm there thinking, didn't know if I really wanted to accept it. And then it's almost like just I don't want to say a miracle, but divine providence. I don't even know how to exactly phrase it because I'm not that smart. But it's like there's inner workings of a higher being, and this girl or woman that was eyeing that exact snake up at the show messaged me right at that moment. Or commented on the YouTube video, and I commented back. She wanted to know if the thing was still available. I said, yeah, it is, but someone had inquired about it. If you interested, message me on IG. So she did, and talked things out with her. And I said, hey, all you gotta do is just put a deposit on this thing.
Right,
she's local.
there you go.
It's like, just put a $10 deposit, something that lets me know you're serious. Because I've had too many people tell me, oh yeah, I'll pay, such and such a day's payday, I'll pay you then. And you hold the snake, you've have opportunities to move it, and they go leave you high and dry, and then you've lost that other potential sale as well that popped up during. So like, just give me $10 deposit. Let me know in good faith that you are going to come get this thing. So she did. All right, awesome. Freaking sweet. So I told her, I'll even honor the price it was at the show. So I got more technically than what I was going to get out of the Morph Market deal.
Yeah.
And she was still happy because she was getting it at the price that I had it at the show.
So this was somebody that saw you at the show yesterday and did the deal today? See, that's a really important point. We like to put all these things in vacuums where, like, okay, the show starts and stops. Morph Market sales start and stop. Local sales start and stop. They don't. They overlap each other. So, like I was telling somebody, it was probably my wife. Yeah, the Green Bay show that I did was 0, but it felt like I was doing good business. I think I'll hear more, and I think that I'll build relationships there in Green Bay. I'll go back to Green Bay, even though it was a $0 show, because the turnout was really good. The interaction was really good. And the buyers were in the room. There was money moving in the room. I might not have had what those people wanted that day, or they might not have known me, or who knows, maybe I just wasn't their guy. I don't know, but there was action there. So I think I can get a piece of that pie. So I'll go back there versus some shows where it's 0 and it's like, this is garbage. This is a horribly promoted show. This is a horrible, there's no turnout. There's no money going on in the room. This is foolish to come back to. So those I won't go back to, but that's a great example. Like a lot of times a good show, I'll make some money, but then the week following, I'll get a ton of inquiries of people going, hey, I saw this, you still have this, or I thought about this, or my friend told me you had this, or, who knows what.
It was just like, that's actually the second. Yeah, that's the second time that's happened to me. See, it's one of those deals, like you said, it doesn't stop at the show.
Right.
It keeps moving beyond that. And a lot of times you end up with customers that stay loyal to you after that point then. Just because something as simple as, hey, I have this price at the show. Other than that, this is the price when it's on Morph Market. If you honor that price at the show, though, people remember that and they look at that as you doing them a solid too. So
yeah,
it makes them feel a little bit extra special.
And I know people roll their eyes at the payment deal things, but like, if I don't need the money to eat that night, which thankfully I haven't been in that situation in a long time in my life where I need money right now to eat tonight kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Why not take the payment plan? I tell people up front, deposits and payments are non-refundable. If you disappear, I have no choice but to keep the animal and your money. Yep. However, my goal is to make sure that you get a wonderful animal. So yeah, if you want to make a deposit and tell me what payment plan is going to work for you, I'll probably consider it because my overhead keeping the snake is really quite low. Yeah, at worst, I got to buy some feeders. All right. So I'm not going to negotiate on the price. Like, if you want a payment plan, it's the listed price versus the negotiated price. But I do that a lot. I probably have 5 or 6 animals right now that are on payment plans. And it actually doesn't make financial sense to say this, but it makes like emotional sense. It's kind of nice to have a steady flow over 2-3 months versus a big pop right now. Now, from a financial standpoint, a big pop right now, I can put to work and invest, but having that steady flow is kind of nice in the everyday real world. So I do that a lot. That's something I do as well.
Okay. See that like, how long do you normally do your payment plans for? Is it kind of varied on instance?
It's varied on instance. I actually usually tell people to pitch me what works for them because I never want to seem, look, there was a day in my life where if I didn't make $50 waiting tables that day, I was going to have a real problem that night because rent was due or car payment or light bill or whatever. So I remember those days. So I never want to be assumptive that like, hey, you can do this. So I usually pitch it to people. And if it truly doesn't work for me, like if somebody's like, hey, I'm going to need 6 months to pay off $400, it's not going to work. And it's not because of snobbery, but it also calls into question, can you really take care of that animal? Can you get it to a vet if you need to? Can you buy a 10-pack of frozen feeders because that's all that's available, which is going to cost you, $60, $80 or whatever the people are charging for it. So that kind of calls into it. But generally 60 to 90 days is what I'll say. And usually people are like, oh man, I'm talking 2 weeks. Great. Then they feel like then they feel like they're like, even like, I don't know how to put it. The customers feel even better because I was going to give them longer and they're doing better for me because they're going to pay it faster. So they feel like there's even more of a customer service thing there. So like, I truly don't mind for 2 or 3 months. And now that I'm in Minnesota, if somebody in California wants to buy a high dollar snake in November, I have to keep it till March anyway. What the heck am I going to do? I can't ship it. Right.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Now that you're way up north. And your shipping window, in theory, is probably a lot smaller now than too. Because it's colder longer, it's colder longer, but the cold sets in so much quicker up there too. Like no sooner seems like it gets warm, it's probably getting cold again.
Yeah, but it also provides a different opportunity. So excuse me, I had a little dinner burp there. My apologies. That's kind of gross. That's terrible. I'm sorry. But actually, all of my local Facebook posts now are, hey, worried about winter shipping? I got you covered. I'll deliver to you personally. Like, it's a new opportunity to say, don't look nationally. There you go. Upstate New York, baby. Yeah. Boom. There it is.
Thank you. Upstate New York. Thank you.
Yeah, baby.
That's actually, I think, one of the biggest super chats I've ever gotten, too. Thank you, Upstate.
There it is.
Thank you very much.
But so that's my new advertising thing now. Hey, guys, can't buy on Morph Market? Proper Royals got you covered. Why don't you check out what I got? And then I say, so you just flip it around. Where's the hardship? Okay, you're suffering from the hardship. Everybody else must be. So how do you make it better for them? I know that was my aha moment. That was my big thought, It took more thinking than I'm making it out to be, but that was what I came to. I'm like, that's what I'm going to do.
That's smart though. Like that is really smart though. Because I feel like if people feel like they're getting a little bit more of a service,
right,
just like that, that might be enough to cause that sale to happen. People like feeling appreciated.
They do, and I'm not, much like probably most of us in the audience, and I think Jeremy, you and I are probably in a similar situation. I don't know that I have any snake that you couldn't get somewhere else.
Yep.
So how am I going to convince you to buy it from me or earn the right to sell it to you? Let's flip it around another way. How am I going to earn your business? All right. Dead of winter, I'm going to deliver it to your door safely and healthily. You don't have to worry about it being shipped, and you can get your snake right now. Call Proper Royals. You know what I mean? That's the pitch right now.
See, now have you had anybody take advantage of that yet? Or is it still just at the very start of it?
It's at the very start of it. We're actually going to be in the 60s this week. So tonight's post on Insta. Yeah. So actually on Instagram today, I posted, hey, I got a beautiful week of weather. National people, if you want me to ship something, now is the time. Let's do some business, bring all offers. So that was today's marketing.
Okay.
I've been, I was going to save this for my show, but Jeremy, I've had a couple glasses of wine and you're a good guy. So here's I think it's some valuable content.
All right.
I swear to God, I think this is valuable. What I've been doing is posting under my business brand account. So under Proper Royals on Facebook, I'll copy and paste that same material to local reptile groups in Minneapolis, St. Paul, which is my home market. And then once a week, what I'll do is I'll use my best pictures with my logo on it, and I'll actually pay $15 to boost the ad.
Oh, okay.
$15. Consider that versus what we pay to vend at a show, what we pay per month to vend on Morph Market. We don't pay anything on Instagram, but Instagram isn't focused or targeted. You can choose. You could type in the words that you want people tied to. So I type in snakes, I type in reptiles. Ball pythons doesn't bring up anything. So snakes, reptiles, pets. And then I type in tattoos because it seems like everybody in snakes has a tattoo somewhere. So I put that on.
That's true. That's very true.
And I pay $15 a week to focus on 18 to 50-year-olds in Minneapolis, 25-mile radius. And I've been doing that for 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, I have sold 2 snakes locally from people clicking through that link. One was at $350, one was at $475. So not super high-end snakes, but $15 on $500 sale would be a 3% cost of advertising. We would all negotiate $15 on 500, I bet. They didn't negotiate anything. They paid me. Boom. So I think I've got a little bit of proof of concept there. It's not a big deal to spend the $15 because I would spend $50 or $100 on tables for a weekend show to hope that I got something. And I don't think anybody else is doing it. So it gives me a leg up just because nobody else is doing it.
That's smart, dude. That is freaking smart. Like, I never would have thought of that.
Well, here's the real secret. I didn't think of it, but it was good content. I promised you it was good content. I learned it from reading Darian's posts endlessly on Facebook. He posts about 4 nonsense posts about who knows what. And then 1 out of every 5 is really, really good business insight. And I'm like, you know what? He might be right. He might be wrong, but the guy controls a hell of a lot of the market. And I truly think he wants to succeed. I don't think he's bought Morph Market to crash it. So when I think he's talking business and I think he's talking truthfully, I actually try and pay attention. And I figured, what the hell, I'll try it. Because you can dictate, you can make it $5. You can make it $1 if you want. You can choose your budget on those ads. And the more you pay, the more they'll dump it, kind of deal. So you could spend $500 if you want. So I was like, you know what? For $15, here's the other way I put it. These are, you know, just off the cuff numbers. If I sell $50,000 a year in snakes, which I may or may not, that's my goal. It's going to be a photo finish, but close to it. And if I spend $15 a week advertising on Facebook, that's $750 a year. That's 1.5% of my total sales. If I said to you, would 1.5% marketing expense that worked be worthwhile? We'd all spend $1.50 on every on every 100 we make, right?
Hell yeah.
I figured I'd try it out, and I like it. I'm in it. I'm doing every Monday morning. There'll be a new ad that hits the Minneapolis-St. Paul market. So this week coming up, I'm doing the Cold-Blooded Expo show in Minneapolis. So it'll be pictures with my logo on it saying, I'll see you at the Cold-Blooded show. So I want them to know my logo. And they'll be like, it's Facebook. These aren't breeders. So it's going to be bananas. It's going to be pieds. It's going to be, I don't have any Axanthics for sale right now. It's going to be stuff that passes the grandma test. It's not going to be double het, blah, 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 normal looking things that people see. It's going to be eye-catching things that people go, wow, who's this guy? Those look great. You know, got to check it out.
So I've got one Axanthic for sale. One. And I'm surprised it didn't move either. Beautiful freaking zebra bee, dude. Beautiful zebra bee.
But you fall in love with Axanthics. How firm were you on the price? You were like, I'll keep this if it doesn't sell, right?
I don't need him though. See, that's the thing. I've gotten myself, after talking with people like John and Christine and Nathan and all them, I've gotten myself to that mindset where, do I need it? Does it progress my projects further? If it doesn't fall into those categories, I've gotten my mindset to where, okay, we'll price it at this. We'll see what kind of traction or attention it gets, and then adjust accordingly from there. The zebra bee was getting a lot of looks. I mean, let's face it, a beautiful black and white snake like that. I mean, a bumblebee gets looks. You wipe all that color and make it black and white, it's going to get even more looks. So it got the looks. I think I had it at, I think I had it at 500 on Morph Market. So I dropped it down to like 4 at the show. Figured take $100 off of it. You know, VPI zebra bees they're a lot cheaper than the TSKs, but that's just the supply and demand. If you as of when I looked Saturday or Friday night, if you were to look on there for a zebra bee, mine was the only one up there for TSK. So it's kind of like, all right, it's the market's the TSK market demands a little bit higher just because the supply isn't there. But flip it around. Oh, really whacked the mic there. Sorry, everybody. You flip it around there, though, people are gonna be like, well, I can go get this VPI zebra bee for just say $100, $200 as opposed to spending the $500 that one is on Morph Market. So it's a double-edged sword. That being said, I dropped it down to 400 right off the bat for the show. Waited part way through the day. I thought, all right, we're gonna knock $50 off this thing, see where it goes, see if down to 350. People still kept looking at it. I thought, all right, we'll be able to seal the deal at 300. So I dropped it another 50. Had it at $300.
Oh,
all they did was look. It's just like,
you're
come on, like
on the show tonight, you're gonna sell it. If people hear that, man.
Hey, if someone wants, I will honor that price. If someone hits me up on the show tonight while we are live, I will honor that $300 or female price. It's a male.
It's a male. All right, so you got a male zebra bee TSK though, huh?
TSK, yep.
Wow. So I don't have a good answer other than just sharing some experience. So I have a Suma cinnamon, nearly black snake.
Ooh,
totally eye-catching. Everybody stops, at the show. Oh, another ball python. Oh my God, what is that? Oh, another ball. Wow, another ball python breeder, but you have this thing. Everybody looks at it. I got it priced at 12 or 1300 or four. I think it's like 1400 on Morph Market, and I listed 1200 on the show and blah, blah, blah. So, but nobody buys it. I've had that snake. Yeah. I see Josh and Sarah eyeballing that snake. I'm not going to say who I thought would buy it, but I'm just saying you might sell that snake on tonight's episode if I were to bet. But what I see is breeders don't value a super with a codom at a $1,200 or $1,300 price point. Pet owners that think it's cool because it passes the grandma test. Holy smokes, look at that thing. That's amazing. They're not going to pay $1,200 for a trinket. They're going to pay $300, maybe $350. And I think your Axanthic Bumblebee fits into that. I think most breeders, there's not as many people working with TSK. You got the Spider working against it, and I don't have any problem with it. It's just what's out there from a business standpoint. And then couldn't use that one. I wasn't going to call it out, but that was where my little mental poker chip was at right there. So I think it's this uphill stream. But let me flip it around to something positive. I love that nearly all black snake because I know I'll use it if he gets to breeding size. Yep. Secondly, people actually it's a great picture for what I'm talking about, where I put it on the local Facebook and people go, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen a snake like that. Are you going to have that at the show?" Yeah. Come to the table. Maybe that snake has sold 5 other $150, whatevers. So I do like it that way. And I know that different from what you're saying, I know I'll use it. I can always use something that's going to produce a mahogany every time kind of deal. Oh, yeah. And I wouldn't mind adding to the project either. I'd like to he's like a dark bronze. I'd love to get a black. So I want to get blackhead into the mix too. So ooh, okay, it works or it doesn't work. I'll figure it out kind of thing.
Michael says, let's see it. All right.
Show it off, man. Yeah.
Let me blow myself up here. It really hurts because this was a dream animal to produce.
Yeah. But I know it's on your list, man. Jeez, it's nice.
He's just white, silver, and black. For once, the camera does a snake justice.
It's nice, man. I was gonna say it's pastel, but yeah, it's pastel. That's Bumblebee. Okay. Yep.
Pastel Spider Axanthic.
And for all the people that go, well, I don't want pastel in the collection, you've got to find the right place for it, man. And Axanthic, it's fantastic.
And then the whole wobble issue people say about Spider, other than me shaking this guy around.
Right, that's your hand. Yeah.
He's acting normal.
Yep.
So, but yeah. Like I said, I love this dude. If it wasn't for the fact that his brother, which is just pastel Axanthic, but he's 100% het clown.
Oh, yeah.
So needless to say, this guy not being het clown, breeding wise, he doesn't pass what I need to keep it.
Put him on Instagram, man. Keep the awareness up on him. He'll go. He's too eye-catching. I mean, for all the I don't know if I ever told this story, and I won't say who, but there was a breeder that was like, one of these days they walked past my table and they're like, "You and your soccer mom snakes, Adam." And I was like, "Soccer mom snakes? What are you talking about?" And they're like, "That's all who's going to buy this stuff." You know what? Soccer mom snakes sell, dude. They look good. They're eye-catching. Kids want something different that they don't have. And soccer moms have money, so sell it to them. They'll spend the $300-400. That's what
they got money because they have the soccer mom van that they didn't spend an arm and a leg for, and it just goes from point A to point B and never dies. They've got the money.
They figured it out, man. Yeah, so I got no problem with it. I'll take the soccer mom money while I'm back here in the in the laboratory creating my double visuals.
Yeah. Chris there for Balls Deep. He made stickers, God, because you were around as long enough. We joke about on how the lower end, pet quality snakes are bird food.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Chris took it one step farther and made stickers saying certified bird food. So he was handing them out to everybody in the group. So it's
Oh
just
no.
like, oh my God. But hey, it is funny. It's a funny haha joke between all
No,
of us.
exactly. We give it, if you know where it's coming from and you know it's in good, that
Yep.
all the context makes all the difference in the world for sure.
Yeah, Chris says it's because it's spider and pastel. But you know what though? All right. Yes, on all of those. But like you were saying, Adam, there's things in pastel that pastel works really good in, and there's things that spider does phenomenal. And
Yep.
that there is an iconic animal.
It
That
is
is an animal that dropped jaws across the whole hobby.
And the people that want it really want it. There's not as many. Yep. It's the niche down idea. The people that really want it are going to be out there. Now they might already have it, but I mean, that's for you to figure out because you jumped into that world. But there are people that really, really do want it.
Yeah. And they may have it already. They may like something that sticks out on that one. Who knows?
That's right.
But so yeah, back to the whole God, we really sidetracked there a little bit. This is why I love having you on, because we just kind of
let it rip, man.
Go all over the place. What have you been noticing at your shows, foot traffic wise? Just kind of give us a rundown as to what you're seeing on your side of the country with it now.
All right. So my short answer, and I'll take a long time getting there. I'll tell you the short answer up front. The short answer is I really don't know. It's November 12th. We closed on this house that I'm sitting in right now that's been renovated down here on September 15th. It looks
amazing.
Thank you. I worked my butt off for it, and I do love it. Like, I'm a pretty humble dude, but I love this place, man. I'm proud of it. Like, I'm really, really proud of it. So thank you. But so less than 2 months ago, we closed on this house. September 24th, which would have been 7 weeks ago, I did my first Midwest show.
Okay.
So I booked a ton of shows because I wanted to figure out what markets were what. I wanted to figure out an answer to the question you're asking. And what I found was immediately there's a ton of promoters. In Florida, it was Repticon and maybe it was Show Me Snakes, and then you had Daytona once a year. That's it. There's nothing else. And not knocking Show Me because they're a national brand and they do great in their own world. They hadn't taken hold in Florida. It was Repticon. So I knew what to expect at the Repticon shows. I knew even in 1 year I had done, 3 shows in the Orlando market, 2 in the Tampa market, 3 in the Jacksonville market, and show the sink. Yeah, baby. We're going to do it tonight, Kike. I got to figure out how to make I'm going to light it up and I'm going to turn it around for you. I am going to show you the sink. I was like, what is that? I see it now. But I had a framework of what to expect at Repticon. They were all 2-day shows. They were all run by the same showrunners. You almost judged like which market was better versus which show was better. I get here and now I have to deal with, which is fine and neat. Actually, it's really neat. So Ed and Emily from Snake Discovery have their own show circuit. Scaled up. Yeah. So Scaled Up Exotics, Scaled Up Expos in Wisconsin has their show circuit, which is really great. Show Me Snakes shows has their circuit. Cold-Blooded Expos has their circuit. I've done 6 shows. This weekend coming up will be 7 shows in 8 weeks or 9 weeks. They're all 1-day shows. They're all different promoters. I've done 2 with Show Me, and I've done 2 with Scaled Up Expos. And I haven't done one at all with Cold-Blooded Expo, which is what I hear is the king of the mountain here, but I don't know that. I can't vouch for that. So I don't know what I'm finding is what I'm saying. I'm in the place right now where I'm going to do the work regardless of the outcome, good, bad, or different. I'm going to go show up at all these shows and I'm going to do my work every weekend. I found that by and large, the traffic is good. not, again, knocking Show Me. Their traffic at the 2 shows I've been to has not been good. I'm going to do the one in my backyard because it's my neighborhood and my market. I want to be king in my market. Doesn't mean I am, doesn't mean I expect to be, but I want to be. So I'm going to do the work. But I'm probably not going to travel to Davenport again. It's 5 hours. It's a hotel. It's dinner out. It's very expensive. If you can't bring the people, I'm not coming to it. It's just business. I don't knock them. I think that they're good. I know they're collaborating with Darian. I know that, it's a fine business. It's not doing that well for me. So, and actually the St. Paul show locally, I don't want to put words in their mouth, but the show promoter nearly apologized saying, hey, this isn't a great venue. We're working on a new venue. Okay. Get good. The one thing I will say that I liked about the local Show Me show, there was only 2 ball python breeders. All the rest were. It was great. I had a great, So I can't knock them. I can't knock them without clarifying. I made good money at the St. Paul Show Me show because there was only 2 ball python breeders. It was fantastic. I loved it. It was great. I was like the big fish in a small pond, I was just reading Scooter's comment. Now, no one has ever peed in my sink. A different sink, maybe, but not mine.
All right, we're gonna slight sidetrack on that one. Did you by chance watch that auction?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh God! All right, go back and watch my auction with Danny from DTMG.
I do know what you're talking. I did hear about this. Yeah. We're gonna. I can't. Maybe who was telling me? I don't know who was telling me the story. Maybe it was you on the phone that was telling me the story. Yeah, I did hear about. I heard in pretty good detail about that show. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was, I don't know if anyone will ever in the history of live auctions top that auction.
I don't know. I don't know the top is the word. It might be a bottom situation.
It's probably definitely the most viewed live I think I have at this moment. But
whatever brings them, right?
It was funny. Oh my God. But anyway,
I do know what you're talking about. Yeah. All right. So with all that context, I'm seeing a lot of people at the shows. I think it's difficult to close a sale. And I think that you got to be familiar with the locals, and the locals have to be familiar with you to make it easier. Yeah. So I put a whole lot more work into, I don't know if people have noticed on my Instagram now, almost everything has my logo on it. I want people looking for proper royals when they go to regional shows. So I've made a real focus on the regional market again, because I can't, I'm looking at not shipping for the next 4 to 5 months. That's scary.
So
I gotta crush the local market, right? I gotta really cultivate that. So that's really my focus right now. Obviously, again, somebody's buying $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 snake. They are going to get, hey, I hold it for 3 months. I take care of it. That's just in the deal. But the bread and butter, $200, $300, $500, $600 snakes, I gotta sling those locally.
Now, what are your price points? And you don't have to go into exact specifics, but just ballparking. Like for like pieds and like your banana, like, because that's been like my big thing. That was like the biggest thing I had a hard time going with, because the last time I had bananas for sale, the market was booming, and sooner put a banana up and poof, it was gone.
Yeah, exactly.
And I did it, like I said, with that zebra bee. I was doing the dropping game. I started at this price. I think it was like, they had a regular pastel banana female for $200 starting. Figured that thing would move no problem, lickety split. Well, it came home with me. Yeah. And I dropped it down to, I think, 100. And I'm there thinking, it's like, you're basically giving this thing away. I mean, it's a female banana.
I think you got to remember, sometimes people, if the people that want it just aren't there, there's almost no price you could do.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And so I've been okay with, as bad as it sounds, I'm okay with a $0 show. I wouldn't say okay. It hurts. It sucks.
It hurts, but you he can't always win. I get that. Yeah.
Right. And you don't want to win moral victories just to say, I'm not dropping prices. Well, you'll go out of business. Like you gotta play the market. So I rarely drop prices because I try. So, all right, how about this? I go through my process. Here's my process.
All right.
I pack up my snakes. I look on Morph Market. I make myself, generally what I do is I find the lowest price plus shipping, and I charge the lowest price plus $25 because $25 is lower than shipping. At least I can look somebody in the eye and go, yeah, you found it for a lower price, but you're going to pay 60 to 80 bucks to ship that animal.
True.
Mine is cheaper. At least I have like that spiel ready to go. And I kind of hold to that because we all know the prices are tanking right now. That I can go, hey, you can't see that animal in person. You're trusting it. It's got a ship. It's cold weather. You could buy it right here, right now. And I'm basically matching it. Now, there's some prices that are just stupid and I'm not comfortable selling that snake. So like I've got a ultramel male. I see ultramel males going for $100.
Is that what they're down? See, this is what because
only
I don't
at a
follow
show.
the ultramel stuff. Okay, only at a show. Okay,
only at a show I saw this, and it was a good friend. He had it listed. I walked up to his booth to check it out, and I was like, "The hell are you doing?" I wanted to kick him in the nuts. I'm like, "Come on, man!" But it still didn't sell, so I don't care, and I don't really care anyhow. Whatever he's got to do business, fine.
Yeah,
but that ultramel male is nearly at breeder size. I feel like when they're hatchlings, they're hot, and when they're breeder size, they're hot. That in between, shoot, I may as well hang out or figure out how to make a double head or I don't know, maybe I can hit a double head, a pos trip het. You know what I mean? So sometimes I just won't lower prices, but my general process is find the most competitive. Now, some of them are just stupid prices, but the most honest price on Morph Market, you know, it doesn't look like it's covered in mites or somebody getting out of the business, and then charge $25 more than what that is where I start. And then of course people negotiate and I'll decide if I want to take it or not. And that's been working pretty well. To get really specific to your question, regular pied, single gene pied males, $200, pied females. I think 300 is my target, but then I realized I would negotiate to 275 and I just wrote 275. So it looks more competitive, but then I'm like, I'm not taking any less. Like, hey,
see, that's not bad though. I mean, in all actuality, like that's a fair price. Cause I think before, I mean, granted now not COVID high, but I think on average your pies were going for what, maybe between 300 to 400 normally. So
yeah, I think
275, that's not that bad of a hit.
Yeah, I think 450 maybe COVID, and regionally I've noticed different prices too. Like if it's all pet buyers, it's a different market than pet versus like my sweetest buyer is that person that's just started breeding or just started dreaming of breeding.
Yes.
I can provide a value to them. They're going to spend relative to me good money. Good money to me is $500 to $800 a snake. Man, I saw 2 of those. It's a great day, right?
Exactly.
So that's like my sweet spot. So when I find those people, I really try and cultivate them. Hey, give me $100 and make a payment. You're in the area. I'm in the area. I'll be at this show 3 times a year. I'll deliver, you know, all of these shows are within 3 hours of my house. Let's be honest. If I need to deliver an $800 or $1,000 snake personally for $1,000, I will drive 3 hours each way to collect $1,000.
Yeah.
Right. So that's when I roll out the service. Like, hey, all these other people that are going to blow you off because you need help paying for it, I'm going to help you out. That's my pitch. I'm the little guy that works harder kind of thing. I don't know. It works for me.
That in the end, that will pay off because like I said before, the next time they're in the market for something, they're going to remember you went out of your way to help them out.
And yeah, I agree. Thank you. I agree. And like we all do these like social calculations. How intimidating is it to go through? It's like asking out a girl. Oh, she might say no. I don't know, say yes. I'll go talk to them. Like, how intimidating is it to go to the next breeder and go, hey, could I just give you a little bit of money now and pay it off? And it's this really awkward, belittling thing. We've already crossed that bridge with Adam. We already have that. Just come back to Adam. You know, that's kind of my pitch.
And actually, that's a good, interesting way to look at it too, because I never thought of it from that angle. But you're right. It does kind of, you know, break that ice already. So that's actually an interesting way to look at it too, dude.
Well, thank you. And I go back to the times I've struggled in my life and I wanted something nice. Could I walk into a TV store and be like, hey, I know you can't give me the TV today, but can I give you $100 today for it and then come pick it up later? Like, yeah, they had the layaway stuff, but it was so predatory. Yeah. They charge you interest and blah, blah, blah. And they make it, you know, you got to wait in a special line over. It's like the poor people line. Like, this is horrible, right? It's terrible. And so if you could disarm people from that and truly, like, I try and walk the walk of everybody's welcome. I want to grow this industry.
Yep.
Just make it easy on people is really what I'm saying. So I'm not trying to paint myself as some hero, but though, because it is a sales technique. I'm doing this to get sales. So, I mean, there's get rid of the hero look image or whatever, but that, I think if we can make it easier on people, that's a value.
Well, in the way this market is, like, my opinion is the market is by far dead. There's no doubt in my mind the market is still good. Seeing how friends like Nathan and Danny and all them guys did at the show, the market is very much alive. Seeing how Ed doing his PVC custom enclosures and towers and show displays did, you know, the market is very much there. There's people still gearing up, adding, expanding. I was told Chris from Sea Serpents was selling outrageous amounts of stuff, even more. I think I heard he sold more of something at Gettysburg than what he did at Tinley. He did better at Gettysburg, supposedly, than what he did at Tinley. Was selling just, I don't remember if it was in general or just a specific size rack. But it was one of the things, it's the market's still good. People are buying, people are expanding.
I think so too. And I do think local, the home field advantage is strong, is what I think. And here's why I think that. And I got to be careful because I'm not going to name any names. Some big time players in Florida traveled to Tinley this past year. Did very poorly. I heard one of them say, I'd rather just fly here and hang out. It would have been cheaper than bringing all the snakes and doing the show. Wow. Tampa Repticon was this weekend, which is probably the second best show in Florida after Daytona, and they do it twice a year. Another breeder says Tampa was good. We moved 37 snakes, 37 2-day show. That's a lot of animals. And like, this guy's good, but he's not Bob Vu. He's not Garrick DeMeyer. He's not Steve's Morphs. And for that matter, he's not Dale at Constricted Reptiles either. Just good buddy. He's ahead of me, but he's a good buddy. 37. Again, I won't name names. The person who bought my table at the Tampa show, I still own that table. He said he had a great day. He just said he killed it. And I was like, fantastic. And he doesn't mess around with his investments. He's a good guy. And then I heard probably the king of Florida-based breeders, if I were to say this just off the cuff, said they did twice as good at Tampa as they did in Tinley.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. So, and let me tell you, Tinley was rough on him relative, but Tinley was still 8 to 10 times better than I did at Tinley. So there's a lot of Jack we're talking about flying around in these rooms that are doing pretty well. So I think the home field advantage is strong. You got to cultivate your home field. And I think that the market's out there. I think different regions have it, different things, I really think there's a couple December shows here in Minneapolis. I think the December shows are going to be phenomenal. Nobody could ship in Christmas snakes to Minneapolis.
That's
Who are you
true.
going to
Yeah,
buy it from?
Yep.
I'm just thinking out loud, but that's what I could be lying to myself. Check with me in New Year's Day, see how that went. But that's what I'm telling myself. It's what I'm going to market as. You can't ship stuff in. I got more market quality stuff. Buy it from me.
And you figure too, and I found this out last year when Oaks, which is another big PA show, had theirs in December. It was like, God, I think it's like 2 weeks before Christmas, maybe it was 3 weeks. It might have been right at the beginning of December. I can't remember the date exactly. But anyway, it's beginning of December show. People were buying Christmas presents for people that were animals. It's like that was like like people already did their Black Friday stuff. There were people doing Black Friday. I think it was still close enough to Black Friday where people were doing Black Friday sales snake wise.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that buy snakes for their significant others or their kids or whatever, I never really thought of it until experiencing it. It's like that's the perfect, like right before Christmas is a perfect time for a show.
I think it's good. And you know what? Last year, I remember, it's funny because I have year-over-year sales now. And Jeremy, I forgot. I was just turning around. I got rats on the heater. I got to flip the rats here at some point. So I'm going to have to do a 2-minute step away in a second. But last year I had kind of resigned myself to late November through December. I was just going to step out because I didn't want it. I don't like the idea of having to get caught up in the most aggressive sale I can make, the slash prices. Like, how are you going to compete with Wilbanks and Garrick DeMeyer and all that?
Yeah.
What I found was I did really, really well offering good animals at an honest price from proper royals. And so I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, last year, like I say, the last 6 weeks of the year actually were a really, really good stretch for me. We'll see if it's the same this year. I'm in a new market, but I'm excited for that. Matt at KMB Reptiles was at St. Louis on ARBC. What was that show like? Steven tried to call me to give me a show update, and I was at the neighbor's house eating dinner, so I couldn't take the call. But I'd asked for, I have not heard updates from that show other than Saturday night. I heard it was interesting from somebody.
Oh, right? Whenever you hear the word interesting thrown in, it's just like, oh, what happened now?
It's like somebody saying, oh, you're nice. We're good friends.
Yeah. Yeah. That Adam, he's so nice.
He's so nice. He's just nice. He's just so nice. He's good. Hey, yeah. If I can bum like a minute from you, I gotta flip these rats that I've got on the heater. If that's all right. All right, I'll be right back.
Whatever you gotta flip, dude.
You're gonna talk horribly about me while I can't hear you. It's good.
But yeah, no, I'm curious to know how St. Louis went. I know I heard Oaks had a really good crowd, and people did really good there. Suddenly, after like the morning was maybe slow, and then partway through the day, it sounded like it kicked up. I don't know. Roxanne said, same. I topped out with purchasing 25 now to breed my own. I only had one Cltch this year for the first time. Next year, maybe. Hey, you know what? In my first year, I had 4 Cltches. That was a chaotic first year for me. You're just learning all the ropes and everything. There's nothing wrong with just kind of slowly working up, Roxanne. Sometimes I wish my first Cltch wouldn't have been the Cltch that it was, but sitting at how things are, I'm glad it was because it got me to get some visual exantics this year, though, too. But yeah, no, there's no, you move at your pace that you're comfortable at. I did want to shout out because hopefully she's still here, but Ashley and Nikita, they're from Pip Stalkers. Thanks for tuning in, Ashley. You're probably at work. Who knows if you're still tuning in or not, but thank you very much for being a channel member. Everybody, there is a link in the description down below. Feel free to check it out. Also, make sure you guys check out all of our sponsors. I did forget to run one sponsor ad. So let me run that real quick, Adam, because I got to do this because this is probably one. They're not really a sponsor; they're more of a partner. But this is a very important partner for me here at Warfels Morse.
If you want to use the best reptile record keeping and tracking software on the market today, scan the QR code or click our partnership link in the description down below for a free 30-day trial of Husbandry Pro. I promise you, you will not regret it.
Which is funny because now that I thought about it, that's something we were going to talk about slightly, but apparently some update didn't go through for you.
Yeah, I have a little bit of an update for it. So, well, I don't have an update. I have a little bit of content to talk about. So,
all right, let's talk about that between Husbandry Pro, everybody, and Cltch.
Yeah, it took me a little bit of time to really understand like the service that Cltch provides. Disclaimer, I've never used Husbandry Pro. I don't have an opinion, good or bad, of it. I have to assume if Billy developed, endorses, and uses it, that it's on target and a ton of people do good with it. How do I put this? I maybe don't understand. Maybe I don't realize I have a problem or a need. So like, I don't know that I need Husbandry Pro's focus, which I think is I think Husbandry Pro's day-to-day value proposition is we make your day-to-day operations easier. Go ahead. Is that right? Or would I be wrong saying that?
It's nice because I'll just give you a quick laydown of how I use it. How about we do that?
Yeah.
I use it to keep track of like the feedings and stuff. One, it saves me because I can put them on a timer. You know, all of this group gets fed every 14 days. This group gets fed every 7 days, you know, all that stuff. And I can have it where it notifies me whenever feed night comes. It says, hey, you've got X amount of notifications. I can go to my feedings for that night, and it tells me exactly how many of what I need to lay out or thaw or prepare to, or even pull if you're using live. So it's very valuable in the tracking of data. Now, from the breeder aspect, you have the ability for the breeder plans. So that's really nice because then it in turn lets you know, hey, when the time comes or however you set it up, if you do want to do 30-day pairings or whatever, it gives you a reminder for that as well. But it gives you something, that visual breeding plan that you can sit down, look at, analyze it, and like, I know how you're a very visual person, and I'm super visual. So it's nice to see, you know, hey, all right, so-and-so is going to this group of females, so-and-so is going to here. And you can sit back, analyze it, be like, you know what? No, that doesn't really make sense. This is, you know, you can plug and play who needs to go where. That's very important. Now, you get your clutches, eggs are in the incubator. You have a virtual incubator on Husbandry Pro.
Okay.
Where it tells you the clutch size, all that stuff. Now, those eggs hatch. You go and you do what's called convert to animals. All right. It comes up with all the genetics that are possible in that pairing. And let me take one step back as well. If you've paired 2 males to 1 female, it lets you know which 2 males it was. So when you get those whoopsie, what's going on here, you can go back and look, okay, so-and-so was thrown in for 1 day or whatever, and then that was the only time you saw it. You can pick out those dual-sided clutches quicker. But when you convert them to animals, it gives you a list of all of the possible genetics from that pairing. So you then go through, click what's what, you know, throw in the sex, and just basically give it a serial number for, you know, it's maybe whatever, you know, however you do your number system. Click save, and all your animals from that clutch are poof now in your system. So now from there, here's where it's really nice. Here, I'll pull this card because if anyone actually goes to do it, it'll actually pop up. If someone, like, I use these cards at my shows, put them on my displays. Someone goes up, scans this QR code. Everybody, you could actually even do it now, depending on what you're watching. You could scan this QR code, and you will see every bit of data I have that that I allowed to be seen.
You've given it, yeah.
Yeah, wow, all right, now we're kind of focused.
There you go.
It allows them to see like the feedings, you can select what's important or what you feel is important for customers to be able to see. How many times have you at a show been asked, well, when was the last time it ate? What's it eating?
Yeah.
Little knick-knack questions. That QR code alone saves you from all those questions. Adds a nice little look as well. I got so many different compliments this Saturday on. They're like, oh, I really like those cards. They look really nice. It adds that aspect, but it adds a nice convenience factor for your customers. And then what I consider to be a huge plus for Husbandry Pro users to users aspect, say you have Husbandry Pro, you buy this Hypo Enchi off of me. I can send her to you, all her data via Husbandry Pro.
Right.
It goes, everything I have on her from day one gets sent to you. She's in your system. You can change her serial number, whatever you want, but you've got every bit of information that I've ever kept track of. It's very useful in the aspect of all that. Plus, it's not just for ball pythons. You can use it for anything. Now, my understanding with Cltch is it's basically just ball python focus, but it's also slightly focusing on some slightly different aspects too.
Yeah, so I would say, a couple points of context. What does Husbandry Pro cost per month?
There's different plans. Now I can pull it. That's actually a really good question, Adam. Let me pull it up here real quick.
Actually, so it's apples to apples. Let's say I have 160 snakes. What's Husbandry Pro going to cost me to use? And I'm not setting up any gotchas. I'm truly asking for contextual standpoint.
Yeah. Let me figure this out here once. Actually, I guess I just could have done this. This might have been an easier way to go about it. If I just go in, because let's face it, everybody, I'm not a very tech savvy person. All right, so if you go, all right, here we go. All right, so you've got a free plan which allows you up to 5 animals. Basically, that just lets you play around with it.
Right.
Everybody, if you do scan my QR code or click my affiliate link, you do get a free 30-day trial. Your hobbyist, which allows you up to 50 animals. You get all husbandry activities, custom animal types, custom genetics tables, QR scanning system, email support. That's $32 a year. There's a $75 a year plan, which is up to 200 animals. It also includes the previous plus public sales listings. So it's almost, and that would be on Herp Social. So it's basically like getting into that other aspect of another form of morph market.
Yep.
And then the breeder, which is what I have, is $149 a year, which still isn't bad. It's up to 500 animals, encrypted database, everything previously, whether or not it matters, two-factor the two means of authenticity. I can't even freaking
authentication, baby. Here we go.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you. God,
I got you.
Price list export, the breeding plans. This is the big one. This being able to connect your Herbstat spider webs. That is the big key on this one. I could be anywhere and I can keep tabs of what's going on with my Herbstats. They'll send me notifications via text and email if there's a spike or a huge drop. It is nice on that aspect. That's actually the big plus for me switching to that plan. Plus the animal size, but it was that aspect of the spider webs. Also allows you to have 2 additional users. That way you can have people help you have access to your stuff if you're a bigger business, or if you do something like
Gotcha.
what I do with Nathan, where after I've had an animal for a year or decide, hey, I'm keeping this one, I have him print me out really nice plastic credit card cage cards for those. So he has access to my stuff to do that. And then your commercial operation, which is unlimited size, you get everything Husbandry Pro offers, and that's $315 a year. So you can really kind of, there's a section in there for just about everybody.
Gotcha. So I would say, and I'm going to play a little, just for the sake of our content, I'll play a little bit of like the Cltch advocate, but I'm not full transparency. I'm on the trial phase of Cltch, and they did not roll out the breeder upgrade that I was told was targeted. They didn't promise it, so that it's not like they dropped the ball. They didn't promise it, but they did not. They had targeted it to roll out on Friday. Now they say it'll be out around Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
So, in true transparency, there's a little bit of disappointment there because the window's closing on the breeding module. Why do I need the breeding module come January? Right? I need it now. Like this is a miss. If in my opinion, this isn't me crapping on them whatsoever. So. Here's the differences in Cltch. Cltch has no interest and no design for day-to-day operations when it comes to feeding. There's no feeding tracking. There's no feeding module. There's no pull thaw list for your weekly feeding of what you need to pull. I think that's a valuable asset that Husbandry Pro provides. What Cltch provides, which just sounds like overlap, and it sounds like Husbandry Pro has tackled the challenge, and whether they've succeeded or not, I don't know, because I'd have to use them head to head. But what Cltch's goal or target is generational clutch management. And I'm finding that with pairing 30 females this year, like we all like to think that we're smart, because we think highly of ourselves. We probably are smart. But the fact is, calculating combinations of 30 female breeders with 10, 15, 20 male breeders, you could do it. You could rub 2 sticks together and make fire, but it's not the best way to do it, right? Like we could do, I mean, I'm sure there were smart cavemen that were like, nope, I'm always going to do it this way. Okay, well, you can do it, but you're going to get left behind. So it provides a data-driven look and a focus at your long-term pairing and organization of your long-term clutches. The same way you were talking about converting clutches into animals, that same thing exists. Okay. Here's what I do like and what I'm intrigued by. This is Adam's opinion. I have utmost respect for Billy and Justin. I have the utmost respect for Warfels Morphs. This is just my opinion. What I'm intrigued by is the simplicity that it really only focuses on one thing. I think things that try and focus on too much, too fast, get a little bit frayed. And that combined with, I still like, there's something to, this is going to get really nerdy and dorky. In my business mentor, he came from a world of Toyota manufacturing, and Toyota manufacturing philosophy is called Kaizen. And in Kaizen, there's a place called Gemba, and Gemba is where the action happens, where quality is created, where value is added. So the room I'm in is Gemba. And they say, if you become an operator that never goes to Gemba, you won't know what's going on in your operation. If I sit here and try and run my whole operation on a phone, I never see if, like today when I was doing my feeding plan for tonight to heat my rats, I could see who looked thick, who didn't, who looked who do I want to build because I know that they laid on this date. And I realize that's data that you can pump into a machine. On the other hand, seeing it, feeling it, seeing the behavior of the female is still important. Of course, you do both of those things. I know Billy would say, yeah, dumbass, you do both. I get it. But my point though is if I'm doing both, I may as well just do one. I'm going to do it on my sheet and I'm going to engage that knowledge. So that works for me. The other thing is, this is really goofy and really nerdy. It reminds me of writing prep sheets every day in the kitchen. It reminds me of my happy place that I came from for the past 25 years. Throw that in the garbage because that doesn't apply to anybody else. But for me, so what I'm saying is my day-to-day processes I'm very happy with because it keeps me engaged with my animals. I don't necessarily want that anymore automated. Ask me again if I get to 300 animals, I might beg for automation on it. But right now, I don't. What I find I suck at is thinking through long-term planning when it comes to pairing. And I don't suck at it. I do it. It's tedious and it's a grind, is managing all of these hatchlings. There's hatchlings everywhere. Who ate what? What number is what? I have hatchlings I have 3 Cltches, so 20 hatchlings that have the same father, but 3 different mothers. And damn it, they didn't miss all, I have some of them that missed all of their mother's genes. So they all have the same father's genes, but they're from different Cltches and they're a month apart each. And keeping all of that straight and going to shows and then getting it back into the right place, all of that's a challenge for me. So the generational management is really intriguing to me. One thing I will say that I do like, and I know Kai's in the audience, Cltch provides a very nice, clean, same thing, Cltch card. You can print these whenever you want, so I can use that for my show, and I can drop a price right on that, which is kind of cool. So I do like that. That's a day one benefit. Otherwise, Cltch is kind of a long-term play. It's not going to change my life day to day. Now, here's the payoff question. And the payoff is wherever we decide it goes. Cltch is like $300 a year. It's one price. You're either at the free thing where you can play around and like just test it out, or it's one price. So at 300, it's unlimited everything. You either get full access or you get diddly access. So 300 is a lot of money. Let's just say I've worked a very, very difficult days of work in my life to earn $300. On the other hand, going back to the $50,000 a year scenario, that's less than 1% to manage my growth. Great.
It's one average snake sale, basically.
Yes.
I mean, it's one snake pays for it, is how I would.
But then again, it's real money, and it's up against Husbandry Pro. Husbandry Pro is very, very has a very good value proposition compared to that $300 and the features that it produces. So then I go to and Cltch has its own social. You can make your Cltches and your incubator visual to other Cltch users. So they can search the Cltch database. Yeah. Hey, I'm looking for an OD pied head hypo Cltch. Boom. Here it is. Gonna happen. You two need to talk.
Yep. Beautiful. Jump on the weight. Now, do you know if it does a wait list? That was the one nice thing I do. Okay, I was gonna say that's the one nice thing that I did like about Husbandry. Excuse me, was the whole wait list factor. People go in there, they see everything that you allow them to see in your incubator. You can choose whether you see it or not, but you go into that incubator, and if they like that pairing, boom, they can get on a wait list. Yeah, you can click right there. Hey, I want that. If it's available, when it comes up, talk to me. Beautiful. Pre-sales without the effort, right? All right. Upstate New York, Morse says, don't forget to mention about the Cltch grading. So yep, I was going to bring that up too. This is I believe in the context he's asking, because again, I'm not a representative of Cltch. I'm not affiliated whatsoever. This is me playing around for 2-3 weeks now. What I was intrigued by was the link that Kai sent to me of a preview that was unveiled at Tinley of this breeding module.
And I will say, I've never used Husbandry Pro. The user interface is great on Cltch, and it's great on laptop or your phone. I've heard that Husbandry Pro is more geared toward phone, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure if that's true or not.
I use it on both. Like when I'm setting up, when I'm going through converting animals, I do it on my laptop because it's a lot bigger. It just, for me, using the laptop for that works a lot better. Now, going through doing like the feedings and stuff, you know, when I'm marking down something feed, or if I want to bulk feed, because you can give your racks a QR code. So you can do a bulk feed option, click everything that didn't eat, and boom, everything else it automatically marks as being fed. So I mean, it's you know, there's big time saving on that one, but
well, then
the interface, like it's very. Maybe I just got used to it. I know I have heard people say that it was confusing. There is a lot of options to it.
Yeah, there's a whole lot, and again, I think it just goes to the user, because some users want. I get people that are like, hey, when did it poop and shed last? I don't know. I don't care.
I don't track that much.
Yeah. I stopped tracking that on my fourth snake, but I get, if they want it, fine. And I think you can mark that in Husbandry Pro, but it's not what I'm looking for. So
you can even customize fields if you want to,
get rid of this, keep this. Yeah. So I think it, again, I'm not knocking it. I think it's going to, of course it comes down to choice, but it took me a minute to understand the difference. I think Husbandry Pro is for day-to-day operations. I think I think Husbandry Pro focuses on day-to-day operations and looks at long-term growth and lineage tools. Yes. Cltch is primarily going to be for the growth and lineage aspect of what we do. And they explicitly say, we don't want to help you feed your animals. We figure you know how to do that. That's like in their pitch. So, all right. So this breeding module that was shown at Tinley, which was a real intriguing thing and really made me say, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. The other thing that made me say I'm going to give this a shot, and this is, let me just be clear, this is not a shot at anybody because I've never experienced it. Just to be clear, this is hearsay. My understanding was that some of the upgrades on Husbandry Pro from two people I talked to were a little bit clunky, and when they sought customer service, they didn't get much customer service. So that bothered me, and I said, okay, I'm going to hold off on that. Believe it or not, I've been in the world of customized app development when it comes to restaurant point of sale services. We had a custom developer that focused on resort operations, and I understand those things when they come up. You just can't leave the customer with that taste in their mouth. So that bothered me a little bit. Doesn't mean it's accurate, doesn't mean it's fair, and it certainly is not a fair sample size. It's two people that I knew. That's all I'm saying. I spoke to only one person who's used Cltch, and I respect them greatly. They like it very, very much. But there's not much to go wrong in Cltch. What they have is very refined, but it's very narrow. Husbandry Pro is very wide and very innovative, and there's going to be bumps that happen with innovation. I got no problem with that. I understand that. Okay. So this module that's supposed to come out, the breeding module, in my understanding, again, I'm not an advocate for Cltch. I'm just saying what I understand. They have like basically drag and drop males to females. Okay. Here's a female, drag this male, boom, here's what you can get. And what's interesting and could be quite nefarious, who knows, is that it'll give you a grade of that pairing. Okay. I don't know if that grade is contextual to the rest of your snakes. So like, I don't know, hypothetically say you have a huge number of het DG females. So producing a visual male would be highly valuable to your snakes. I don't know if it's in reference to your snakes and your circumstance, or if it's in reference to what Justin thinks hot genes are. If we want to get real nefarious, if we think it's going to steer us away from projects Justin's working on so that he can corner the market, yeah, okay. Is there a bird food grade? I don't know. But so let me tick through those. I don't think Justin's been working all his life to come up with an app that's going to give him Dr. Evil powers over what people breed, because ultimately it's still our own choice. Like if I've been all my life going after, I don't know, what's something simple and beautiful, a super Enchier Xanthic clown. That's not that simple, but fine. Okay. You get my point.
It'd be beautiful though. If
I can get it and that thing gives it a low grade, let me tell you what I think of it. I'm going to go after that animal, right? So I don't think that makes sense to stake his own reputation on that nefarious mindset. So let's throw that in the garbage. Now then, what is the grade based on? I don't know that answer. Is it based on the market? Is it based on what genes are hot and selling? Is it based on what makes Justin feel warm and fuzzy? Could be. Yeah, exactly. Is Justin bringing back bumblebees? Could be. What I'm hoping it is that it's based on some nifty algorithm that's going to improve over time. That's the beauty of algorithms, is you can update the data that you put into it. You learn from the mistakes, you update the machine, and it gets better. If it will grade you based on your own collection and the resources that you have, that's pretty cool. That is a neat asset.
That would be nice. Yes.
And that Justin's name and brand and his foresight, and knowing that he likes things just exactly right. So Justin's name, Justin's brand, that intriguing breeding part, and some of the, and again, I don't want to emphasize this because I haven't experienced, it's not fair. And I apologize in advance to Billy because he's cool and I have no problem. He's never been anything but cool to me. But I have heard the feedback is people didn't get help when there was a challenge, and there shouldn't have been a challenge in the first place because it was a software clunk that shouldn't be there. That steered me towards trying Cltch. Now, again, I'm disappointed that I was steered towards November 10th. This breeding thing is going to roll out. It doesn't roll out. Time's of the essence. Guess what Adam's about to do after doing all the work to enter his animals into Cltch? I'm about to go back to my old buddy, the spreadsheet that I had in the first place, and I could have done that 3 weeks ago. So there's where I'm at. I don't know what to make of all of it. I still want to see. I haven't plunked down a penny on either one yet.
See, I know it might be a bit of a pain in the ass for you. Give Husbandry Pro a try. Now, all right, I'm going to try to do this without screwing something up. So forgive me, everybody, if I screw something up, because I always forget how to do this.
Jeremy, can I gracefully dip out in 22 minutes to go feed tonight?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we'll be good, dude. We'll be good. All right, let me do this. All right, now I'm going to take you to my Husbandry. Hold on. Wait. All right, I didn't lose anybody, right? Yep. All right, we're still good. I forgot to open up a new window. Almost already screwed it up. All right, let's do this. All right, so you can see my screen, correct?
Yep.
All right, so here's one nice thing, like with the laptop, you can scroll through, you can find whatever. You can go up here, you can search for whatever you want to search for. But remember with what you were saying about you go to a show, you come back, and it's like, where the hell does everything go?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, here's where this comes into be a big play for, like yesterday when I came home with everything that I came home with. Go in here into your racks, goes into browse racks. All you got to do is just scroll. You don't even have to scroll across. You can look at, as long as you have the numbers with the serial numbers on the animals, that you took to the show, you can look at all your racks and see exactly who goes where.
Yep. Let me ask you this. How I move a fair amount of animals, man. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying it as the nature of my world. How quick is it to update that? Because that's great, but week to week, that could change in my life. And depending
on as far as marking something as sold?
or where they're at. Like I want
Oh,
my empties on the bottom because I got cold floors in Minnesota. So like I don't have any empties at the top. So if that becomes empty, everything else shuffles up. I got to move 55 other things, huh? Not 55, 25 other things.
You would have to move them up individually. I don't think there's like a bulk move thing, but for instance, like for this male, I moved him actually the other week. I just haven't done it. So he's actually sitting right there at that spot. It's just at the click and drag of a mouse.
Ooh,
but yeah,
hey,
I mean, you would have to do that for each individual.
Do you want to get a NARBC update from Steven live?
Yeah, sure.
That's him calling me. I'm going to tell him he's on air. Hello, Steven. You're on Jeremy Warfel's live show right now. Is what's going on? How's that?
Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, we'll have to tune into it. So like, listen, we're on our way back.
Hang on. Let me see if anybody can hear you. If I'm being a total jerk.
I will call you back later.
Can anybody hear this or not?
He's coming through really quiet.
Yeah. It's too low. Hey, let me call you in like 20 minutes when I'm feeding the snakes. It's coming. Okay. You're up as loud as I can get it, and I can't hear, so it's just becoming a distraction. I'm sorry.
Okay, sounds good. We'll talk to you later.
All right, I'll call you after the show. All right, bye, brother. I tried, guys. I tried. I felt like Sal Palantonio. Like, let me talk to my boy in Philly right now to see what's going on with Jalen Hurts. Now, I don't know. That was it. It actually goes through my Apple. I probably could have made it work, but I need to test it. Okay, go back to the Husbandry Pro, the racks, man.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, you just drag everything to where you want to. As far as animals, you sell something. We'll just do this here because I actually have to. Actually, here is it. This one. Go to this one. View animal. All right. Like I said, I sold this one yesterday. So all you do is go to edit. And I got to make sure I don't screw this up on the field here because I got to find it. That means I got to read. There should be a status thing that I'm missing. Here, status. Just go down to sold and archived. And that's all there is to it, really.
So I've never seen the back office of Husbandry Pro like you're showing right now. My initial impression is there is a lot there. There's a lot, man. Let me see if I can. Maybe I wonder if I can do the same. I wonder if I can.
See if you can bring up your Cltch here once, and we can kind of compare and contrast. Like with the adding animals, it's super easy. I have all sorts of tutorials done up in a playlist. I need to actually get back to doing that.
And again, I just have to highlight like the the features are going to go in Husbandry Pro's direction. It's just a matter if people want those features or not. So
yeah,
there's a lot of, it's a question of what's useful and what's purposeful. And if that works for you, then it's great. Cause that is a lot, man. Look, there is a lot of data on that page right there.
Okay. Now this is my breeding plan for 2024. They're like, it got, that male, that's the female he's going to. This male, these are the females he's going to. Let me see if there's one. Let me see if I can't find the one. All right, the Batman, for instance. All right, see, I've got a lot of stuff lined up for him. He's not going to all of these like right away. Obviously, there's a lot of like small follicle sizes, so I'm hoping I can get even half of these with strategic pairings just by using the ultrasound and spreading them out a little bit. But there's a few of these I've already changed up, so I do need to update this.
I got you. Yeah. Well, I don't think nobody should grade you tonight on just showing examples anyway.
But right here, for example, like with this, my OD Exantic, here you can see that she was paired to the Bumblebee double head Exantic clown, and that she was paired to the Batman, and it gives you those two possible males that could have gotten the Cltch. So it's nice little key features like that. Here, if you go to the feedings due section, now a lot of times I do the feedings do thing on my phone. But here it tells you exactly what I got to lay out the next time I feed. And a lot of this is just because I didn't feed these animals because they went with me to the show. I didn't want to have regurges and or animals going to the bathroom.
Oh, so it's given you a hey, these still need to be fed. They're on the list.
Yep.
So
Exactly. Yep.
Gotcha.
See up here, you can see the notification bell. Feedings, that it tells you exactly who, which animal. Messages is where this will come up with, hey, you got to pair so and so with so and so.
Sure.
It's nice, 2 little sections there. We're back to the breeding thing. Here's the incubator. Give everybody a little tease there. We're almost halfway with the incubating of that Cltch.
Now, did you choose that green, or did it just happen to come in Warfel green for you?
No. You can actually customize it. You can change the color scheme. You can change, like, we'll go back to the racks here. You can change each of these colors. So if you want your females to be pink or whatever freaking color options they give you, you can change that in the settings, and same for the males. You can color code just about everything. Your cage cards, like what I was showing off earlier with the QR codes. Like here, let me see here. Maybe that was in. Wait, where is it? Why? Oh wait, I just lost myself here. Here it's in utility. Sorry. Here you can go through. There's several different types of cage cards that you can go and do. Sheet label designers, what I used to make mine. You can, if you have those Dymo printers, you can make the little Dymo labels. I mean, the label designer is a new thing where it does essentially a cage card, but it's very simplified cage card. Like my cage card was designed on Photoshop, and then I saved it onto a file on Husbandry Pro.
Oh, I see.
So there's just it's very complicated to an extent, but once you learn the system, it's like you do it without realizing it.
I think there's a lot of things that way, and yeah, once you're into the world, I'm sure it makes sense. And I've seen that on restaurant points of sale. Like if you tell a chef you're going to go from old school printer tickets to computer screens, let me tell you, you're about to be in for a fight, but at the end of the day, it's a better outcome. So I get what you're saying. Okay. So yeah, you got the Cltch screen up, and can you see my mouse moving on here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is just the home screen, and you could see I'm on the free trial. It ends in 14 days. I was really, really hoping to check out I will say the free trial gives you access to everything though. This is the full experience that you get on the free version. I was really hoping the breeder module was out before that expired. I probably will pay for 1 month a month, which is a little higher than year pricing, but I'll probably pay 1 month a month until I can experience it. So over here on the dashboard, it gives me my incubator countdown. I got 2 Cltches in the incubator. Let's see. Here's one of the Cltches. It's got a picture of the dame and the sire, and you could have a sire too if you had that, like you say, the Who's Your Dad. And then, it thinks the hatch date's 11/13. That's tomorrow. No, okay. Oh, that's where you'll update it. It's on it's on the timing it's on. It's already tomorrow on its timing. That's why. So, and then over here are the possible outcomes, the genetics of it. So pretty user intuitive, has nice flows that you can follow visually, that kind of thing. And then this one has 17 days left, gives me a heads up, same kind of deal. Pictures of the snakes, the flow of what it could be. And that's the Enchi Pastel Krypton or Het Clown Cltch, which is kind of cool. Otherwise, imagine that times 30 if you had 30 Cltches. It would be very useful in that way. And then the babies that come from it are all tracked and automatically put in, which I think Husbandry Pro does as well. The animals page, which is reptiles. So I'm almost there. I have a stack of Cltch cards here. And what I did, the process I did was enter, then print, then I added pictures. So the ones that don't have pictures don't have the, not Cltch cards, the tub cards are not on the tubs yet. That's how I know that. So I know I have to take some pictures, but otherwise there's pictures of every animal. There's the genetics right there. And you can see, you know, let's just put all, I've only got 56 entered on there, but that's all my breeding stock. And then it gives me the stats over here. And I guess these are my top, probably my top 4 genes, which is no surprise. Het clown, het piebald, pastel Lynchy. That's probably everybody's top 4.
See, that's the one thing. I don't mean to interrupt. That is the one thing I do think is interesting with Cltch is that I forget who else I had heard say about it, but it gives you like a percentage of like what genetics are very prominent in your collection. So you kind of know if you've got to slow down or slim down on, say, like pastels or leopard, you know, it lets you know where you're a little too strong and maybe you need to slow that down and build another end up. I do like that aspect of it. Yeah,
for me, the answer differentiating the two was day-to-day operations versus generational planning. And again, I realize both do generational planning. Only Husbandry Pro does day-to-day operations. So it's a different ball game. What I don't have entered is my historical clutches. The only thing I have are the 2 clutches still going in my incubator right now. What I don't have is the past 2 years of clutches, which I would tie into my reptiles that exist, as well as actually, I could technically include animals that I've already sold that are out there in the world as well. But what'll happen is just what you're talking about, where users can scan the QR code. They could find out the lineage. They can find out the genes. They can find out when it's updated. Hey, I had a cinnamon OD possible yellow belly girl this year. Out of the blue, she popped out hypos. I didn't know this girl was head hypo. Boom. Now you can pop that in there, and then all of our offspring suddenly become het hypos. And I think Husbandry Pro probably does that, but maybe not. I'm not sure on that.
I don't know if it does that. Does it that simple as to plugging it into everything after that fact? That'd be something that I can ask Robert when I have him come on later on in December. That'd be something interesting to know if it is there or if it's possible to make it there.
Yeah, if it trickles down automatically.
That would be a very nice little aspect to have added.
Yeah, and it would, in theory, if the buyer is on this, it would update their animal and hopefully give them some sort of notification as well. This Snake Social, that's their. I'm not affiliated with any
of Social, basically.
Yeah, I'm not affiliated with any of these brands, of course, but these are the folks that are there, and presumably a lot more. Yeah, there's a lot more. So there's that. Let me see on search if I can search like, yeah, I had to learn how to search by genetics. I know you could search by genetics because that's where I don't want to just search by brand. Public clutches. Let's see here. This is still just going by their name. I'm too new on this. Somewhere in here, there's got to be a way to search for, hey, I really want a visual OD pied, just something that simple. You know, it's got to be there, but I don't know. I can't imagine that you're going to go by. These things all say 0 public clutches too. I wonder if that's because I'm still in the trial phase. I wonder if I can't see their clutches because I'm in trial. Privacy is set to public. Yeah. I'm wondering if that's the case because that doesn't make it, because I mean, they wouldn't have launched they wouldn't even make that accessible if there was no, I know nobody's made it 0 because I made mine public. So mine are out there. My clutches. So something's going on with that's probably behind the paywall. So I take it back. Maybe it's not.
That would make sense if it is something behind the paywall.
Yeah. Build your collection. What's this here? Oh, this is back to my reptiles page. So Again, it's more limited. It's simple. I think the flow is really, really good. I think the user experience is good. I think visually it's really good. And again, I can't deny it. I was very disappointed that, I'm not disappointed. They didn't owe it. They hadn't promised it. They said it was in testing, and if they got testing done, they'd put it out on the 10th. I personally was excited, and I was hoping it would be released on the 10th to use that breeding module. So there you go. I don't know if that provides insight, but again, to Billy's point, he always screams, these are two different things. They really are. Yep. It's easy to lump them together because they're the predominant software options, but they are two different things.
No, and I think it all depends on where you want to focus, I think, on it as well, too. Because it seems like there's a lot of similarities, but some minor differences.
Yeah, and I don't think either one of them would admit it, but it's going to come down to Billy's thumbprint versus Justin's thumbprint. Right? I mean, those are the driving forces. And what two better guys to drive it? I got no problem with that. That doesn't bother me. That is cool. I think it's going to come down to, again, day-to-day versus lifetime or long-term generational planning. And then what tweaks can each of them put on with their own sort of developmental thumbprint? And I think that's going to be a differentiating factor over time.
I know the one thing I would be curious to know is I think this is where Husbandry Pro does shine in its own field and way, is that like with husbandry, if you present a thought as to, hey, it would make a lot of sense to add this aspect in or change or tweak this to be able to do this instead. Because after our live, when I had Robert on last time, there's a lot of things Nathan had said about, and they implemented them basically within that next week, just because they were ideas that were very beneficial that, you can't think of everything. Husbandry is shaped by the users, but it's shaped within reason that if it's only going to benefit one or two people, it's not going to probably get added. If it will benefit a wide variety, then yes, it more than likely will get added at some point.
Yeah, I think there's an analogy there between the Google model, which is largely open source and crowdsource, and the Apple model, which is very closed, very proprietary. I think Justin probably I'm going way out on a limb here. I'm just making this stuff up off the top of my head. I think Justin is analogous to the Apple model, where it's going to be thoroughly tested. It's going to have to pass his thumbprint and his brand, whereas Husbandry Pro is probably going to be, hey, a lot of people are asking for this. Let's give it a shot. Let's put it out into the market. If it works, great. If they don't work, great. If there's bumps, we'll figure it out. We'll try and steward them through those bumps. I don't think Justin wants those bumps, but that causes delays, and it causes really, really certain methodical movement that probably is nowhere near as fast as what Husbandry Pro will do over time. And then again, there's the price difference as well. Like I say, Cltch is not cheap. $300 a year, grand scheme of things, not bad comparative to Husbandry Pro. HP provides a lot of value that way. So there's the best comparison I can give right now. I wanted to have so much more to give. I don't know anymore right now.
Now, maybe you do know this is Cltch solely just for ball pythons, or is there like different avenue, like different things that you can select that maybe opens up a different slightly menu for other species or anything?
Only ball pythons.
Okay. I thought that, but I knew Justin, he dabbles with some other stuff. He's got some beautiful other animals in his collection. I thought maybe that there's options for other things.
If I were to guess and paint a picture, I would bet they're testing it for leopard geckos and for cresties, because the model would work the same. But I could tell you, as soon as you create an animal, you have to type genetics that are in a database of ball python genetics. It's not anything else. So it it is a laser focused product on multi-generational clutch management of ball pythons. That's all that's what it aims to be. That's what it wants to be. And it wants to be badass at that one thing. That's it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I was just curious. It's
a different outlook. Yeah. I mean, Billy talks about people using their, managing their hot rod collection on HP, right?
Their oil changes.
Yeah. Which is just different. It's good in its world. It's different from the goal of Cltch. That's all.
Yeah. No, like that was neat to actually, because I've never fiddled with it. So that was the first time me actually seeing the Cltch layout, the database.
Yeah,
I do now see why. I do now see why people wig out when they see, when they see this.
It's a lot, man. Yeah, I got 6 buttons on my world. Yeah, it's a lot, man. I was like, that's a lot. That can almost feel overwhelming.
And then under each thing, you've got it's got very specific things. I get that now as to why that is, slightly intimidating. I get that now after seeing Cltch's the simplicity, but it does flow nice and smooth. I now understand that aspect of what I've been hearing.
There we go. Hey, I got a boogie. I'm going to overcook these rats, and I'm going to have mush belly on rats. They're going to pop everywhere. Oof. That's not going to be any good.
Oh, dude, I had that happen the other last week.
You know what I'm talking about.
Like, it grabbed it and squeezed it, and I heard I was just like,
and there's the smell and the cleanup. We promised Kike. Is Kike still here? We promised him the sink.
Oh, that's right. Kike, are you still here, bro?
All right. If not, we'll tag him on it. But let's do the sync. Hang on a second.
All right. Well, I'll put you up on the big screen here. Kike, hopefully you're here, bro. If not, hopefully you're watching the replay. And or Adam get you tagged. But there's the cart Mark was asking about.
Oh, yeah, the metal cart. Hey, Amazon warehouse. When you search things at Amazon, click on the left, and there's a little place called the warehouse. That was a return cart, and I got it for $100, stainless steel, commercial grade, $100 with casters. Yeah, baby.
That's a steal, dude.
All right, you guys tell me. I can't see it.
I can see it.
Hang on here.
I can see you. That's a nice setup with the. There it is.
Wait a second. There we go. Yeah. So there's the drying rack. Oh, hang on.
Dude, I like the drying rack aspect.
You know what? That's the old food and beverage thing. Air all around it, and it dries safer and cleaner, and I have it just saves space. So those are all clean tubs. The dirty ones, I'm ashamed to admit, right now are still on the floor down there.
That stuff takes time, dude. I totally get that.
But there's the sink, and that is I'm trying to see if I can show you. The sink has some drying boards as well. Looks like a damn restaurant. You got that right, Keith. I'm sorry. I'm trying to manage my tripod here as well.
No, you're good, dude.
But let's see. Here's the 360-degree tour as well. There's the rack, and somewhere in there is. There's the rat cooker, heating that up that's the rat oven for the evening there. No, there's me. Hang on. Those are hatchlings and show stock separate from the others. That's the whole back rack. And those are the breeders, and those are who I'm feeding tonight. So there's the quick tour of the room.
I like you making use of the rack there in the corner as a tabletop as well. That's very, very smart. Nathan does something really similar with his one rack too, just like that.
I needed it before I had more space and before I had. Sorry, I'm trying to get my camera back online here or on. There we go. I needed it before I had. Space for a rolling rack, so that's a relic from the last place. But this year's investments are going to be either 1 or 2 levels of more 70-30, and then 2 more levels of 55-40. So that tabletop workspace will actually go away as well. But that's in the next 12 months. That's going to go right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the one.
Very nice, dude. I love the room, man. I love the room. I wish I had a sink in mine. I know that much. I really wish I had a freaking sink. I'm not even going to be picky and need something as big as yours, but God, I'd love to have a sink. Maybe after I do this next expansion, maybe I'll plumb one in the corner in the old room.
You got space over there. I've been down there. You got space. I'll tell you, I think it's King James Reptiles down in South Florida. They found a bigger sink at a used restaurant warehouse. I was like, no, the one thing I had. It's great. It's 3-compartment with the drying board. So mine's 2-compartment with 24-inch drying boards. Theirs have the drain boards and 3 compartments. But yeah, I love that sink though. It makes life very easy. And then, like you say, the drying rack, you just sling it behind you and let it dry.
That would be, because that's the one thing, like, I want, like, for something as stupid and simple as like my water bowls. You know, I go upstairs, I wash them.
That's right.
I'm a cheapskate, and the ones I use, like, they're thick enough, they hold up a good while. So I'll go wash them, bring them back down here, and I'll stack them on top of you know, the 50-20 and the 55-40. I'll stack them on top.
Yep.
So, and let them air dry like that. But now, seeing this drying rack, man, now it's just like, man, I got to get like a drying rack now. Like, I never thought about it. It's a great freaking idea, because what am I going to do once those racks get up to the ceiling? I lost my drying space.
Yeah. I like the drying rack, and I like. I don't know if I showed it. Sorry, because I'm proud of this too. If I showed the floor was part of it too. I poured white. I didn't pour. I hired somebody to pour white epoxy. I can mop it and keep everything clean. Dirt has nowhere to hide. Like Keith said, it looks like a restaurant, and I want it to be a clean kitchen is the mindset on it. So everything's all white on the bottom, which, check with me in 6 months. I might hate
you might be regretting it.
Yeah, I might have wanted the black epoxy. Who knows? But I do like it, and everything's off the floor, either on casters or raised up on shelves, so I can mop and sweep under it as well. The only thing not is the freezer right there. That's the freezer. It's not, and it probably won't be, because the ceiling is so low in here. I can actually touch the ceiling, so that I don't know that I could get that on casters if I wanted it to.
Gotcha. Beautiful room, bro. Beautiful.
Thank you, man.
Gives me ideas. I wish I would have done the epoxy floor when I had the chance. I think it's a little late now in the game for me to do it, just because of having the animals down here. I don't know if I want to go and transplant animals, carry racks upstairs for like a week or a couple of days for it to dry and fume out. And
it's a couple days. You could probably do it in segments if you had air ventilation, if you vented the air out kind of deal. You could do it. You could put down little dividers, pour one segment, and then kind of like to do concrete. You could do a mini frame and pour in it kind of deal. But no, I get what you're saying. Like, there's some imperfections and bubbles in mine, and I'm like, I don't know when that's ever going to get fixed, because I got to move everything out of here, including unplumbing my sink, which I'll keep a bubble on the floor for that.
Well, it's like when I did my drywall, I did the drywalling myself. Figured, it's not, what's it really gonna matter if you can see a seam a little bit, or it doesn't look
whole
super
ceiling,
smooth.
man. Yeah.
It's like, the walls are going to be covered with freaking racks anyway. You're not going to see see the wall anyway. So it doesn't need to be perfect. I can deal with the imperfections.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I'm the only one that's ever been down here. The rest of it is how well it conveys in pictures and branding. And that's the honest part of it. Like, a part of this setup was to convey professionalism and cleanliness and healthiness of the animals, and it does that very, very well. So who cares about a bubble? Like, I got to move on.
Yeah.
I got snakes to grow and sell, so. All right. Hey, I got snakes to feed. Jeremy, thanks for having me. I always appreciate you giving me a platform, man.
Thanks for coming on and chilling with me, dude. I had a blast as always, bro. And hopefully we get together again before or right around Christmas, New Year's. I know you were saying something about having a bash on.
Let's do a little party
channel,
around. Yeah, we'll do a little party of that holiday week, man, for sure.
Sounds good, bro. Thanks again, man. I'm going to say goodbye here to everybody, give a couple more thanks, and I'm going to jump off here too. So,
all right. Hey, before you kick me off, I just want to say thanks. Keep it going, Jeremy. You're doing awesome, man. I really appreciate it. And you're an awesome asset to this community. And I don't know that everybody says that enough to each other. And that's not any, whatever people want to call toxic positivity BS. That is genuine. You do a great job and you bring a lot. So it's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate hearing that, man. I really do.
I know we all need to.
Thank
man.
you.
All right. I'll see you next time, man.
All right, Adam. Take care, bro.
All right. Later. Thank you, guys.
So that is the show tonight, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. You guys got to see a little bit of Husbandry Pro if you weren't already using it. You got to see some of Cltch. Got to hear some talk about shows in the market. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit that notification bell. Make sure you guys are here every Sunday watching these amazing lives. This week's video, it's going to be one of the pickups I've had here. This is what gets me into trouble with all the buddies of mine. I've had this pickup here for several months, and I'm just now showing, hey, look, here it is. But anyway, you guys are gonna get to see a new addition to the team, even though it's technically an old addition, but a very important and valuable one. It's like I said, it's been here for a while, but now you guys get to see the video on it. It's at least it's being shown before it's breeding. Everybody always jokes around that. By the time I reveal stuff that the animals are already breeding and making babies, we're just shy of that. So we're still good. But that will be this week's video, is showing off one of the new additions. Then this week on Sunday, we have Chris from S Reptilia's live sponsor auction. Make sure you guys come check that out. Lord knows what Chris is going to have, but I guarantee it's some killer stuff. And also, if you are local to Pennsylvania area or feel like making the drive to PA, or not even just to PA, but to the Bloomsburg area, I will be vending along with a bunch of the guys like Nathan from Infinite Possible Pythons, John and Christine from Triforce, Phil from Figure Snakes, Chris from S Reptilia. I do believe maybe possibly Kai from Lucas Landon Royals is going to be there. There's a whole bunch of us that are going to be there vending. Chris there from Balls Deep. Dan, I didn't let you out this time, Chris, so don't get all worked up. But yeah, so there's going to be a lot of us there hanging out, vending. Come out, say hi, show some support. Who knows? If I got something you're interested in, make an offer, folks. Make an offer. I appreciate all the support from everybody that watches the channel. And who knows? You might catch me at the right time, and I might be like, you know what? I'll take that offer. So come out, say hi. I appreciate it. Thank you for everybody that came out this weekend to the Gettysburg Reptile Expo, LLC. It's great seeing you all. I really appreciate it. Thank you again, everybody, for all the support on here as well. You guys you have no idea how much I appreciate it. I also have to give a huge shout out to Upstate New York Morse for their generous, super generous super chat of $50. Really appreciate that, Upstate. That really meant a lot to me tonight. Thank you very much. But that's going to be it, folks. I greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys hopefully on Sunday, or not Sunday. God. Hopefully I see you guys here on Sunday, but hopefully even more I see you out on Saturday up at Bloomsburg. And hopefully I'm not as tired next Sunday as I am this Sunday. Gettysburg took it out of me, folks. But thank you again, everybody, and I will catch you next week. Have a great week. Take it easy. Don't work hard. Make that money. And have a good one, folks. Later.